Sports Radio 560 WQAM Miami Fort Lauderdale presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk to Neil, call 567-0560, toll free for Dade and Broward, or pound 560 on your cell phone. The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the Beasley Broadcast Group. Roll. Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Don't say pig in front of Jesus.
The most explosive band of the 70s is back. Kiss. Kiss is back. Kiss live in concert. They're turning gray and they're coming your way. I was made for tears, oh baby. You were made for defense. Beth, I can't hear you calling. My hearing aid is dead. Kiss is back. Coming soon to an old folks home near you. I can hardly hear you now. My hearing aid is on the blink.
10:01 at 560 WQM. Happy Thursday to you. So Josh Friedman stinks. That's news to us. We didn't know that. Like I said, in fact, I had written it down. I was going to talk about that today because yesterday Kid Curry over on Power 96 was screaming on the intercom that there was some kind of a, what do you think it was, some kind of a truck out there doing what?
The septic truck.
Yeah, the septic truck. He thought it smelled like, he said, oh, I'm swooning over here in this palatial new studios upstairs. Come to find out, Josh Friedman was just like waltzing down a hallway, thumping down a hallway. Well, now, what is it a glandular thing? Is it a I don't take a shower this month thing? I mean, you know, what could it be? My staples are leaking again?
There are just some places I'm sure he can't reach.
Well, how come Al Goldstein don't smell bad? Oh, probably Rose cleans him up. Oh, and there's a good lesson for all you fat people out there in this audience, all you real tubs of lard. If you're going to be that fat, have some kind of a partner, okay, who will wash in places that some kind of a real close partner who wash in places that you couldn't possibly reach and nobody else would think about touching. That's right. Poor Rose, man. I wonder why she was wearing that oxygen mask the day she came in. At any rate, so do we start with the memo, or no? I'm going to start with this, with that, huh? Hey, listen, we're talking about fat, disgusting people. Why can't I talk about somebody beautiful and it probably smells pretty good too? You know, I'll be honest with you. This place, this is one not only a fat but a pretty ugly place too. There's some attractive women here, so in your case, you're in good shape. But other than Zoltan, okay, which we already know Zoltan is a walking Hungarian god, he is. He's a good-looking guy, even if he is kind of a screw-up. But at any rate, really, this is a really ugly place. There are a lot of ugly people in this joint. Other stations I've worked at, they were pretty ugly, too. It's an ugly business, man. Maybe that's why we're not on TV. So anyway, I pick up my Herald this morning, which usually gives me nothing but bookies when I read the Herald. I open up to the sports section, and I look on the bottom there, and I'm going to tell you something. I said to myself,
oh, my God.
Wow. Now, I don't know about you, but when you see a human being, I'm not talking necessarily about somebody who is sexually attractive to you, although that helps a lot. When you see somebody that looks this good, it kind of gives you inspiration to continue going on with life. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
I'll get to you in a minute, Larry. And here's a story about it. It says, crunch time, it's all the time. And here's a picture of the chest-rippled Brendan Barmer, former Palmetto High swimming and water polo star, who was flown to New York City in the search for America's best abs. On February the 3rd, Barmer did 6,100 abdominal crunches to finish second, no less. 6,100. You know how many that is? He's crunching it. It says, the King of Crunch lives in Miami, has a stomach of steel, and the rest of them ain't too bad either, says Susan Della, whatever her name is. And I sit here and I'm looking at in fact, I'm just going to sit here looking at this picture all day because I say to myself,
oh, my God.
That gives me the inspiration to continue living. Now, he lives here in Miami. Where are we going to find him? Well, he does go to Duquesne. He's a 20-year-old walk-on swimmer at Duquesne University in Pittsburgh. That's not that far away. There are planes coming back and forth from Pittsburgh all the time. We have to find, what's his name? Brendan Barmer. Soon. Real soon. I just thought I'd mention that, okay? And even you guys out there, all you real macho straight guys, you look at that, even I took it into George, and George went,
Oh, my God.
yeah. He said, I wish I looked like that. So at any rate, just thought I'd mention that. Something a little bit uplifting, something that lifts your spirits up. Because, you know, we do like looking at good-looking people. I mean, sometimes they're assholes, and sometimes they get off with very serious crimes. I was reading a story about that the other day. But if they look good, we tend to like them a lot better. Ugly people, like most of us, you know, take them or leave them. Now, before we get to Larry King stuff, this memo, I don't know how to approach this, you know.
Roy!
We've intercepted a QAM memo, and, of course, this is the QAM effing way, I'll guarantee you that, what this memo is all about. Now, I want you to understand up front, we like
Roy!
He's not a bad guy, okay? He's a good guy. Roy Foster, the former Dolphin hotshot superstar. Good player, good guy. Kind of like Mosey's around here, like, yeah. Mosey's around. Well, he's like Mark Mosley. He Mosley's around. But anyway, there's a disgusting... See, one of the things about the place here with the untouchables that I've been talking about, this little core of Gregory's personal friends, not only are they untouchable, but they like slathering that in everybody's face. They like rubbing your face in it as often as they can, which is their way of saying, I'm untouchable, I'll do whatever the hell I want, and, you know, you'll probably get pissed off about it, but too bad. Like I said, like a kindergarten, like that. You know what I mean?
Roy!
I'm sure he does. So here is a memo that was released to the entire staff by Lou Ann Winnick, Screw Ann, our sales manager, one of our many sales managers. Of course, I don't see any of our sales managers, including Ray Perry, whatever his name is. See, I haven't seen him. Ray, well, it's close. I haven't seen him in so long that it's easy to forget his name. Well, he was going to be down here every Tuesday. We're going to have those meetings, you know. And now they're bringing me witch doctors in Hialeah Park that I wanted. You know, do you want to do these spots, Hialeah?
No.
No, thanks. But anyway, getting back to...
Roy!
So Screw Ann puts out this memo, which is a way, again, of smearing... I mean, people already know this, I guess, from what you told me this morning. This is already kind of known around the building. But to put it...
yesterday.
But I know that, but I'm just saying, but to put this in print is like to all of the other sales holes, which they're always screwing over our salespeople. I mean, we got some salespeople who are pretty nice people, and then we got some others. But, I mean, always, why do that? Always screwing them over as much as possible, holding back their commissions, playing games with their money, anything they can to screw over their lives. Because it's the Greg Reed effing way. I'm going to read you part of this memo, okay? Because it doesn't say not for broadcast on it. Does it?
No.
No. This is from Screw Ann, our sales manager. It says, as most of you already know, we have restructured
Roy!
Foster's position with WQAM in order to better utilize his talents. Also, as most of you know, Roy is a former longtime Miami Dolphin and Pro Bowler with a very recognizable name.
Roy!
Responsibilities will now consist of calling new clients, interest them in advertising with WQAM and all of our sports properties. Once
Roy!
has set up an appointment with a potential advertiser, an account executive will be assigned to work the account along with
Roy!
the account executive will perform the normal responsibilities while
Roy!
responsibilities at that point becomes more of a PR function. I suggest that if you're having a problem getting through to a decision maker and think that he might be a sports fan, have
Roy!
make the call for you. You should also bring
Roy!
to appointments that'll help you add sizzle to the meeting.
Roy!
It's available to do autograph signing appearances for a fee of, and he says he will voice the spot for free. You may also utilize
Roy!
to do personal endorsement commercials for a fee of per month. However,
Roy!
must approve the endorsement before it is finalized to the client. If you have any questions, please see me, Screw Ann Winnick. Now,
Roy!
like I said, he's a good guy. And, of course, George don't like him because George is a little racist.
He's my best friend.
You know, he's a good guy, really is. So
thing
people
for
are going to think I'm picking on,
Roy!
and I'm not. I'm picking on Screw. I'm not picking on her. I'm just outing her again for slathering this in everybody's puss and rubbing the salespeople's faces in it one more time. And a big fat pile of... No, I don't mean that. But he is a big fat guy, but he's a good guy. But it's just the idea that she's like, why not, since we don't have any promotional billboards for the people on the air, why not buy a bunch of billboards that say,
Roy!
is the QM face man? And even though he doesn't really go out and actually sell anybody, he's our face man, and he's an ex-Dolphin, and he's got a jock strap he still hangs around somewhere, and basically that's what
Roy!
it's all about here. While the rest of our sales holes, of course, get kicked in the teeth, kicked in the ass, beaten over the, and everything else we can do to them, screwed in their wallet. You see, because
Roy!
is real tight with one of the untouchables. And when you're tight with the untouchables, then you're also kind of like a semi-untouchable yourself. Maybe kind of like rubs off.
Squirt, squirt.
You know what I mean?
Lightly touchable.
Lightly untouchable. Although he does smell a lot better than Josh Friedman. So I just thought I'd mention that because that was laying around. You know, these memos get distributed all over the building, and I thought it was kind of interesting because it's the QAM effing way. Just keep insulting everybody as much as humanly possible, and the little core of Kitty Core up there, Greg's personal friend, keep just manipulating and writing these memos, insulting everybody, and slathering it in their puss. Keep rubbing it, grinding it in there.
I know how to do it.
Well, congratulations. Get a life.
You loved him as Frasier on Cheers. You cherished him as Frasier on Frasier. Now, 17-time Emmy-winning and 38-time Betty Ford-residing Kelsey Grammer is delving into uncharted territory with Kelsey Grammer sings Barry White.
If you don't mind my saying so, I feel that your love far exceeds that which I can get enough of. Or so as not to conclude my thought with the preposition, as it were, of your love. I cannot get enough.
Not since William Shatner's Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds and Pat Boone's Tutti Frutti has there been such a torrid juxtaposition of an Anglo-oriented song stylist interpreting otherwise enjoyable, soulful, melodic renderings.
Pardon me, ma'am, but when would be a convenient time for you and I to get it on? Oh, yeah, my mojo is working. At least I think it is.
Plus, if you act now, we'll throw in, at some additional charge, a free bonus track of Mr. Grammer's stirring rendition of Isaac Hayes' Shaft.
Would you happen to be privy to the knowledge of who that African-American detective is for whom many of the young ladies have amorous feelings? Oh, yeah. You're darn tootin'.
So, get Kelsey Grammer sings Barry White. He makes Barry White very white.
Oh, I really got my booger working now, Mama. Watch me work.
Okay, 10:15 at 560 WQAM. Anybody, by the way, in this audience go to high school at Palmetto Senior High with Brendan Barmer? Well, yeah, maybe somebody in the audience showered with him. You never know. Get all the details. 10:15 at 560 WQAM. So anyway, this morning, before we get to Larry King, and thanks, Hank left me a great piece. Thank you, Hank. A great piece from yesterday's New York Post, which goes to show that Neil Rogers isn't the only person in America who's willing to tell the truth about Larry King and what a professional ass-sucker he is, which he is, about the Linda Tripp piece. See, I asked about that yesterday because I was at the hockey game the night before, so I didn't have a chance to watch it and watch him lick her butt. And I had, 2 calls we had about that, and that was it. As usual, the audience comes up dry. But lo and behold, Michelle Greppi, who's the TV critic at the New York Post, writes a spectacular column about it in yesterday's paper, which I'll get to in a second. But first, something that's really
outrageous.
Yeah, Calvin Klein gets nailed again. And this proves what I keep telling you, folks, that this country is so in the Stone Age. That's why we just went through 13 months of Penisgate here about blowjobs in the White House. That's why, because they just can't deal with reality. They certainly can't deal with sex or with the human body. What's the latest big to-do with Calvin Klein? Well, of course, you remember the thing a couple of years ago with the teenagers, and there wasn't a goddamn thing wrong with any of those billboards, any of those ads. There was nothing wrong. There was nobody naked. They were scantily clad. And you know something? Teenagers, in fact, young people have been used as models for years. But the latest Calvin Klein, and of course we know that it was
outrageous.
Even Bubba was saying that, but I don't think he'd have the guts to say it again. Since he was diddling with Monica, who was like at the time 21 or 22, so just barely out of her teens. So the fact that he was going on and on, it was wrong. It was
outrageous.
Remember that, which I still can't find the cart, by the way. You know who made us get rid of that cart? Probably
Roy.
Not this Roy, but the other one, that jackass over at Paxson. But at any rate, so the new campaign, which I'm sure most of you have seen this news story if you actually watch the news, it's got a bunch of little kids. I mean, little infants. Like, how old would you say those kids are? 3, 4, 5 years old? Less, 3 and 4 years old, in underwear. And they're like in a variety of different poses, and they're high-fiving on a couch, and they're modeling Calvin Klein underwear. But the ad campaign is going to be already withdrawn before it really starts, because there's already been so much hysteria because it's so
outrageous.
Now, I could be wrong, but I've read about the fact that back in the 30s and 40s, and maybe even, in the early 50s, that people, guys in particular, used to look in the Sears Roebuck catalog, where there were pictures of scantily clad young ladies modeling whatever they were modeling, swimsuits, etc. And that was like, nobody else had or access to pornography, or at least if they did, it was under the bed, way, way under there. So next to it, they kept the Sears Roebuck catalog. But the idea of using little kids as models, for example, isn't it the Huggy spot where you got the little babies with a bare bottom on there? There are so many TV ads that have got little babies naked, stark naked, with their little butts hanging out. And it seems to me, maybe I'm wrong, all of these critics that are carrying on about this, the more they protest, the more I wonder about them. Because maybe I'm wrong, but you have to be, it seems in my mind, a really real sick, extreme pedophile to find 3- and 4-year-old kids sexual. I mean, you have to be really sick and twisted to be into that. But oh my God, Calvin Klein is at it again, that pervert, that faggot, and here these, and it is absolutely outrageous. And we got to cut it out. And keep in mind, you go to Europe and anywhere in Spain and Italy and France and Holland, anywhere, Scandinavia, there are shows on TV and ads on TV with bare breasts. How do you like that, huh?
Oh my God.
With naked people. On commercial TV. When I was in Madrid that time a couple of years ago, I come back to the hotel at night. It's about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I turn on the TV on the cable, not on one of those satellite channels like we have X-rated on the big dish, but just on a regular local channel that's coming in on the hotel cable. Here's a porno movie, 10:30 at night, on an over-the-air channel. Are they running around raping each other in the streets over there?
No.
I mean, in fact, they're more well-adjusted about sex by light years than they are in this country, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, because they're so uptight about a little nudity, little kids in underwear. Little kids in underwear. Let me say it again. We're in the Sears, Roebuck, and a JCPenney catalog 60 years ago. Did the world come to an end?
No.
Are people running around raping little kids because they saw a Calvin Klein billboard?
No.
Grow up America, man. That's what we ought to have. That should be the campaign. That's what we should have. All the billboards that they were going to have with those Calvin Klein ads, what they should do instead is just have a big ad campaign. Grow up America. Come into the 20th century before the calendar changes. How are we going to go into the 21st century when we aren't even close to the 20th yet in this country, huh? How are we going to do that? It's outrageous. That's what it is. So anyway, getting back to this unbelievable, speaking of suck jobs, let me tell you this.
I've been doing this a long time.
Michelle Greppi, the TV critic for the New York Post, writes in yesterday's paper with a picture and a whole picture of King, and next to it says, King, pathetic. Pathetic. And I'm going, all right. Yeah. And here's a picture of that cow, Linda Tripp. It says, King didn't bother to introduce Linda Tripp, and at the end tried to shake hands without touching her. Oh, God.
I know how to do a talk show.
Yeah, we know. It says, it's time for Larry King to hang up the suspenders. If there were any doubt he had outlived his arguable usefulness and limited entertainment value, it was dispelled during his pathetic encounter with Linda Tripp Monday night on CNN. It was worse than amateur hour, even for a man who publicly prides himself on not prepping for guests, who wasted an hour with Madonna on groupie questions, and who couldn't tell apart the members of the grudgingly assembled cast of Friends. Monday, it appeared King hadn't even been willing to spend the half hour it would have taken to study the two Tripp interviews the rest of us had watched and read Friday so he wouldn't duplicate them. He couldn't even be bothered to introduce Tripp. If we have to tell you who she is, he said at the opening of Larry King Live, you have serious problems on planet Earth. Unbelievable.
Misa horny?
Yeah. King had nothing but problems from the beginning when he kept aborting his own plan to go a little chronological to the very end when Tripp tried to say Clinton is still cavorting and King tried to shake Tripp's hand without touching her. Even with her miraculous makeover, she was Larry's coyote date. The man who has talked himself into the cushiest $5 million a year job in this hemisphere, if not the world, who has feigned interest in every fruitcake, slime ball, hot airhead, and fame freak working the media circuits, was trying to appear in public with Tripp without appearing to be with her. He didn't handle her with his trademark kid gloves. He didn't handle her at all. Absent were the usual make-the-guest squirm video clips, including John Goodman's devastatingly tacky-ticky portrait of Tripp on last Saturday Night Live.
Had nothing to do with that.
King didn't point out inconsistencies, contradictions, or nonsense. He interrupted at the wrong times to make the wrong points. Was she a source of leaks that had made Vince Foster so despondent about life in Washington? Or the conspiracy mongering about his death, which he still Monday, after endless investigations dispute her, refused to concede a suicide? Tripp said, it's possible that I may, down the road, walk in front of a Mack truck and have an unfortunate accident. But she's normal, not paranoid. King didn't ask how she defines either word. Once it was clear that King was only phoning in his performance, the hour could have been salvaged by opening the phone floodgates and letting the public ask the questions it had nursed for a year, but King managed to work in only 3 calls. One of them was from a Tripp-friendly viewer who didn't even pause to acknowledge King. Caller: "Hi, Linda." King: "Hi." Caller: "Considering." King: "Oh, I'm Larry. That's Linda. Go ahead." How do you like that?
That is great radio.
Yeah. So kudos to Michelle Greppy, and thanks again to Hank for dropping this off from yesterday's New York Post. That somebody else in America has got the galls, the galls and the balls to tell it like it is about this ass sucker. Jerry Falwell, Linda Tripp, Reverend Schuler, Jim Baker, Tammy Faye, you name it, every scumbag, every phony, Benny Hinn, whatever the hell his name is. That phony faith healing Benny Hinn, that slimeball, that scumbag that squeezes every dollar he can with his fake faith healings. My good friend Benny Hinn, my good friend Joseph Stalin, my good friend Adolf Hitler. Now, I don't begrudge him. If he's making $10 million a year, I don't care. It doesn't affect me one way or the other. You know, well, how does it affect me?
Loan me $50.
But the fact is that here is again another one of those mind fork guys. You know, this is what it's all about. It's a state of mind thing, just like the Forge and some of those other joints. Oh, Larry King, the world's greatest interviewer. Yeah, right. The world's greatest ass sucker. And that's why those people come back on there anytime. Snap his fingers, they'll come on there. Because they know that all he does is toss marshmallows and suck ass for 1 solid hour every night on CNN, not just in America, but that's seen all over the world. Anywhere you go in the world, you wake up at 3 a.m, okay, you got insomnia, you click on your TV, there's
Loan me $50.
staring in the puss with his tongue out on somebody's rectum, whichever one it is. Whichever rectum they stick in front of his puss, he's got his tongue on it immediately and his lips, and he's licking and sucking and going on like crazy. Like I've said before, it's got nothing to do with talent. It's got nothing to do with content. It has to do with flash and bullcrap. That's what it's all about. Just like Oprah. Here's an aging, white, suspended, skinny Jewish Oprah. That's Larry King. Nothing. There is nothing there. There is no content. There's nothing. Just like her. And yet there are millions of simpleton people all over the world that just hang on each and every one of both of their words. Why? Do we have an idea? Any idea?
No.
Mm-hmm. So again, Michelle, God bless you, sweetheart. That's for you at the New York Post. Does anybody in this town, does anybody write about that in this town?
No.
Do we even have it like a regular TV column in this town?
No.
No. Of course not. How come we, see, that's another example, the difference between a real newspaper, which maybe I'm not that crazy about their politics, but nevertheless, a real newspaper that's got somebody with real opinions and it writes columns that are interesting, as opposed to the swill we read down here. Swill, garbage, doo-doo, caca. We got people like Barry Jackass and Dan LeBastard and all these would-be make-believe. Tom Fiedler, who thinks he's a comedian running around in his yellow raincoat, wondering where the hell Gary Hart disappeared to. Bush League, baby, and that's a compliment.
Loan me $50.
What's your question?
I will not give it to you.
Say, boy, let me see your license there.
What's the problem, officer?
Going a little fast, weren't you? Say, what's that in the back seat?
Nothing.
Crack rock. Sitting in his back seat, I said, crack rock. You can sell on the street, you can smoke it, and you'll catch a good buzz. Just don't get pulled over by the buzz. Gay cop, singing with a big band. He's a gay cop. His nightstick in his hand, he got busted with 3 pounds of dope. So bend over and pick up the soap. The party's over, now it's J-A-I-L. You got busted and it's J-A-I-L. You were once a big star, then you made the big switch. In jail, you're just fun, bitch. The party's over, now it's J-A-I-L. You got busted and it's J-A-I-L.
What was your first break? I went to work and knocked on doors and got a job at a small radio station in Miami Beach, Florida. I did everything. I did the board, I did jock, I did sports, I did news, I did everything. Cleaned up, I did everything. Only $50.
Okay, 1031 at 560 WQAM. I'm telling you, I'm so delighted that that Hank left me this column. It made my whole day, made my week, made my month, made my year. Nice going. Larry's an ass sucker, baby. Not that people don't know it, but it's just that nobody else wants to say it. Why? I have no idea. Maybe he's got a drawer full of naked pictures like Screwan does upstairs. Mayor, of course, Mayor Penis, he's into the big stuff there. This is the same mayor that sold out the Port of Miami to Mickey Arison for his own fun and profit and lied to the voters and held that sham election about the American Airlines Arena, and they worded it one way backwards like they always do in Dade County, just like they did with the Metro fail, so they could put it over on the public. And so the public in Dade the taxpayers will be left with the cost of operating that place for centuries to come. Did a real fast turnaround on that, didn't you, Mayor Penis? Phony. But he's there yesterday on the news. Did you happen to see, by the way, 6 o'clock Channel 4 News? One of the most embarrassing things. Poor Ken Rosado, who's a real jackass, by the way, an idiot. He's on there, and his mic isn't working, and then we go back to, it's another one of these deals where they've got a press conference coming, but we're trying to stall for time. And then poor Ken, he's talking, and the lips are moving. He's like doing a Paul Winchell routine. The lips are moving, but there's no sound. It was lovely. And there's Mayor Penis standing there with Meritz Steerheim, another unctuous piece of turd, standing there. These are, Meritz Steerheim, one of the guys that helped to turn this town into what it is today, by the way, and then came back, had the audacity to come back here, and is hailed by everybody as the savior of this bankrupt town. The mysterious prehistoric circle carved into limestone on the banks of Miami River is going to be saved, baby. They're holding meetings today and more press conferences, and they're going to, of course, the county is going to have to pay millions to this developer who already paid $8 million for the land and was going to build this gigantic condo thing. But now his lawyer says, okay. I mean, we're disappointed, but we realize, and what they're really saying is that we're going to probably get a hell of a lot more for the, for the property than we paid for it from the county, because the court is going to decide. Not that the Dade Commission is going to arbitrarily decide, but the courts will decide, and so he says, okay, whatever you say. Although the story has it wrong. By the way, is it Tequesta or Tequesta?
I've heard it both ways.
Well, I never heard of a town called Tequesta in Florida.
It's a Spanish word.
I've heard of Jupiter. What?
It's a Spanish word.
Like
so it was
Torquemada.
Originally Tequesta, but hey, let's just say Tequesta, since we're used to it.
Quay? What? I mean, you got Torquemada, but then you also got, well, I'm not going to go into it. Okay, we don't got to go into those kind of linguistics. So anyway, this is a big song to dance to. Now, be very honest with you. I don't want to seem like one of those people that doesn't care about history and doesn't care about preservation of our ecology and our whatever, which, quite frankly, that has very little to do with. I mean, there's some bodies buried in there, I guess. Some old Indians. But does the 99 9/10 of the people in this town really care about this piece of land, this rock?
No.
No. But it's a big major, what? We had one call on it yesterday, and it was like a day after I tried to talk. Nobody cares about it. Nobody can give a flying crap about this. Because there's a couple of old false teeth in there, and maybe some shark's teeth, and maybe some bodies buried underneath. Boy, I bet you there's some real great remains lying underneath of those bodies, huh? I was going to say skin and bones, but no skin. You can bet your life on that. So that's the big deal now, the big grandstanding. Nice going, Mayor Penis. You're really doing it, baby. Have yourself a great dinner with Mickey Arison, another phony, another faker, multi-billionaire that they bend over backward. Oh, sure, he got elected based on saying one thing, and then he pulled a Wayne Hypinga. He turned around and did something else. By the way, how about that game last night, huh? Woo! For the 10 Panther fans out there, another one of those games where if Sean Burke doesn't play out of his mind, especially in that first period, they're not even ever in the game, much less having a chance there late in the game to actually tie it up, which is a miracle. As Dallas beats the Panthers 2-1 in a game that really shouldn't have been anywhere near that close, because the Panthers missed the plane, I guess. Wow, were they bad. But again, Sean Burke, who gets no credit from these people because they know nothing about hockey, nothing about goaltending, who was unbelievable, kept them in the game, which he does time after time in games where they get outplayed badly. Keeps them in the game, which they lost anyway, but at least made it interesting till the end, even though it was a real coma game. A comatose performance. And then my good friend Rimmer gets on there. He and Denise are on there singing the praises of Peter Worrell and what a great player he's going to be and how much Ken Hitchcock loves him and yada, yada, yada. Oh, yeah. Do I believe that?
No.
No, but, it sounds good. It's a great substitute for having Pavel Bure out there on the ice, I guess, telling us what a great superstar and a great second-line left winger Peter Worrell's going to be. Do you believe it?
No.
Then there's a great letter to the editor, which I'll read a little bit later, from Bill Colon. Nothing like a colon problem. Bill Colon in Sunrise in the Sun Sentinel. You know, I read the letters to the editor because usually it's good for a laugh, but once in a while there's a real good one. And I'm surprised they actually published this. Newspaper perpetuates lie that the county doesn't want gambling, which I'll read in a little while. Excellent. Nice going there, Billy, up there in Sunrise. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Great.
You know, it was interesting. I was listening to Limbaugh. I tried to listen to him for a few minutes until he gets me down. And he was even critical of Larry King on that interview.
How about that?
He was upset at the lack of follow-up questions.
Mm-hmm.
She made some statement that Clinton's fooling around in the White House as we talk. So,
well, like she has first-hand knowledge of that.
Yeah.
Like she's got a pipeline to what's going on in there.
Well, Larry didn't say anything. He just said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I said, thank you.
No, because he doesn't ask follow-up questions. He just tosses marshmallows.
Right.
His purpose there is to sit there and suck ass and make whoever is sitting in the other chair or chairs look as good as possible and to make them as comfortable so they'll come back again. And he can keep running around dropping all these big names.
I don't know how it's possible and then keeps him on.
Huh? Because he does well.
Amazing.
Does well because, again, it's an image thing. I mean, it's another state of mind thing. Larry King, they've built him up as this great interviewer, and all he is a professional ass-kisser. And have a great day and get a new phone, sir. I think that was the government on there. Maybe that was Ted Turner messed with this poor guy's phone. 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Anybody calling yet who went to Palmetto Senior High that showered with, what's his name? Brendan Bramer? Anybody calling yet? I bet you Jeff Cohen probably did. He said he showered with Jose Canseco and with, what's his name, Rocky Echeverria. In fact, the way Jeff Cohen's been behaving lately, I wouldn't be surprised if he showers with everybody in South Florida by the end of this year, by the end of the millennium.
Worst talk radio I've ever heard in my life was on WIOD.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and this is Walter Cronkite. This year at Albany Law School, Henry Kissinger will be giving the commencement address. Here now are some things that you will never hear Mr. Kissinger say.
You call this crack? How much for the hairless boy? That is too much for the rodeo tickets. Do you have the video Hot Johnny up the yam shoot? Yes, baby, I am hung like Florida. Does my ass look fat in this dress? Who's your daddy? I'm hungry. Anybody feel like chinks? She went down on me like she was drowning, and my balls contained oxygen.
Okay, 1044 at 560 WQAM. We got, it's going to be this way all week, by the way. I just thought I would mention that, George, just for you to keep in mind. 2 open lines today, 2 in Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Well, gee, if you were talking about stuff we care about, like David Wells and Roger Clemens. Yeah, right at the beginning of this morning, come on here at 10 o'clock. George gets a call right off the bat. We should have known when it rings, you know, when we're not even saying anything yet, from another sports nerd. Was it some young punk, or was it like somebody who's supposed to be an adult, some like in between, somebody of undetermined origin, and is just shaken because of the fact, I guess he doesn't have a watch. Maybe he can't afford it. He spent all his money on those tickets for ball games. Oh, Neil's on now? Oh, gee, I wanted to get on there and talk about this David Wells thing. I'm so upset. My kishkis are twisting. It's a very, very sad thing. It really is so very sad. Here's a mobile in West Palm Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how's it going?
Okay, sir.
You know, I got to say, with the exception of you and Hank, your station is crap. It really is. What?
Really? How about Mandich?
Oh, no, I can't listen because...
You don't like Mandich?
When he's on, if I'm listening and he's on, I'll listen, you know? But, you know, with the exception, I mean, you know, like, I used to work Sunday nights and I'd listen to you guys sometimes. Like, if there was a Dolphin game or something on, I'd listen to you guys.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if I didn't get Power 96, which was clear. But the thing is, you know, you got guys in there who go ahead and say, oh, you know, come on, you guys got to go to the Dolphin game. You got to go to the Dolphin game, you know.
Well, why are we talking about that?
Well, no, I'm just saying, what I'm saying is, you know, you got guys saying, hey, go out to the game. You know, but here, you know, they get the tickets free. You know, other people have to
Some
pay.
of them do and some of them don't.
Yeah.
So what is that? But what does that mean?
I don't know. It's your station. You got idiots working there.
Well, I know that.
I mean, that Boog, he's an idiot.
Well, that's your opinion. He's a fat guy. I'll say that. But why are you calling me and telling me that?
Because
why don't you call him and tell him?
No, because you agree with all this stuff. You
no,
say,
I don't agree with that. I don't think Boog is an idiot. I'm not an ass sucker. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. You're calling me because you think I'm going to agree with you. Like most callers to talk shows, you want somebody who's going to kiss your ass and agree with everything you say. I don't think Boog. What did he call him? Fat? Yeah, he's fat. That's as much as I'll agree. I was the one who called him that. Not a jackass. Okay, one call left on the board, then we wrap it up. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
On that circle out there, why the hell don't they just take a bunch of pictures of it, make some plaster casts, and recreate it someplace?
Because that will not make a grandstand deal for Mayor Penis. Don't you understand? He and Merritt Steerheim and the commissioners, this is a big grandstand thing now. They're really doing something wonderful for the county and for the area. It's preserving preserving this crap out there, preserving some rocks with some teeth in it and some whatever they could dig up. Whatever's in there, they could dig it up and then let the guy build his condo.
Yeah, what they're going to do is jerk around these developers, and next time they find something, they'll just bulldoze it over or dynamite it and blow it up like they do in South America.
They're not going to jerk him around. The court is going to award him millions of dollars, and the county, you folks who live in Dade, whoever does, the taxpayers, they'll have to pay for it, and then they'll have these teeth and whatever they got there to say, hey, look what we got.
Right. Well, one more thing. Did you see where this judge in Arkansas is trying to find Clinton in contempt?
Yes.
And I thought it was all over.
It's never going to be over. They will never, ever let go. In fact, Monica's book is coming out the 5th of March in just a few days, and once that hits the stands, then will really hit the fan, because then they'll be able to it's like O.J. Don't you remember after the O.J. verdict was already in, they have to dissect it, and they have to go back and replays and slow-mo and freeze frame and get the dress back out again to see if it's been cleaned yet.
Squirt.
As long as they got nothing else exciting going on, and believe me, there's not, they'll keep milking this until the udder runs dry.
Well, as soon as she finds him in contempt, the next
She's
thing
not going to find him in contempt. In fact, she said that they may have to kick her off the case altogether because she had private conversations with Asa Hutchinson from Arkansas, and she may have to be excused from the case and put another. Believe me, this thing is going to drag on for an eternity because they just don't want to let it go.
Well,
in addition to which, keep in mind, that case has been settled. First she threw it out, then it was settled. It's a non-existent case anyway. So what difference does it make?
But he still lied at the court.
Which he already said wasn't material testimony anyhow. She's the one that said that.
Right.
But they just can't let it go, pal. Don't you understand? They can't let go.
God bless Ken Stein.
God bless America. Okay. When you get somebody by their tail, you keep, twisting and twisting, and as long as you can keep even one finger on it, you keep yanking it around. As long as you can. Till it wiggles free. We have an open line in Broward, all three in Dade. 567-0560. Pound 560 on a mobile one line. Anybody seen those Calvin Klein ads with little kids?
No.
Anybody all bent out of shape about them?
No.
See, why can't you people talk about these things? Why don't you deal with it? Why don't you understand what kind of society you live in? Why don't you realize that this isn't a free country at all? This is even the Victorians. Queen Victoria herself would be embarrassed and humiliated by this. It's shocking. It really is. I never heard anybody call up and say, oh, gee, they got little naked babies crawling around on that Huggies ad on TV with a bare ass. Well, quite frankly, I don't know of anybody who thinks a baby's bare ass is sexual in any way or disgusting or outrageous. But evidently, there's enough of these self-appointed moralists in this country that if ever that pervert Calvin Klein every time he wants to do an ad campaign, oh, no, we can't do that. That's disgusting. See, it's not disgusting for people like the Ramseys to use their kids as, in beauty pageants. That's okay, like John Bonet. How's she doing? Anybody heard her? No, she's not doing so good these days. That's not disgusting, to doll them up and having them do the bump and the grind and all the little routine she was doing. That's okay. Here's Davey. Hello.
Bill.
Yes, sir.
First time, long time.
Yes.
Mandich, God.
Jim Mandich is great.
He's
known that guy before. That was that buttsucker that wanted me to agree with everything he said. Oh, yeah, well, you agree with all of this? No, I don't.
I'm nowhere near a Dolphin fan, but I listen to him on the radio just to listen to Mandich. He is just the best out there. And another thing I want to touch on very lightly. A few weeks ago when you first played the skit about the lotion in the basket, I went to Pompano that night.
Right.
And at Meadowlands, there was a horse called Lotion running.
I know that horse, right.
And I bet on him, and he won that night. Which was unbelievable.
Joe Pagey Jr., I think, yeah.
And I caught last thing you were saying something about red bow ties coming down here?
Right, Saturday, February 27th. They got a big $150,000 race.
Oh, I'll definitely be there.
Great.
And one other thing, the president, the impeachment from the beginning, I thought it was just a bunch of caca. And I can't believe how much money was spent on that. Unbelievable.
Well, believe it. But at least we're saving the circle now, man. That's the good news. It's
that's
only going to cost the taxpayers a few million for that right here in Dade County.
And about a year and a half ago, I heard you had some nice landscaping put at your house.
Yeah.
Would you interested in any nice lighting for the landscaping?
No, thanks.
No.
Okay. We have an open line in Dade 1 and Broward. Thanks anyway. Open line in each 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile 1 line. Here's a call from New York. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
I worked the Maple Leafs game the other night up here. They played the Devils.
Right.
They got the most awesome uniforms, and that is the most awesome hockey team. They're just incredible, those guys.
It was not the most awesome, but they're very good this year. How about that win over Buffalo in overtime last night?
Oh!
All right. 3-2, yes.
Anyway, they got a...
And by the way, speaking of awesome, speaking of your Devils, by the way, last night, and the Devils they're only 2 points behind the Flyers for the lead in the Eastern Conference. They're having a sensational year. They got a real exciting team, not a coma team like they used to have. But I look in the thing this morning. Where the hell is it? Let me give you the attendance last night as they walloped. I realized they were only playing Tampa, which is a crap team. They had like 10,000 people announced, or some grotesque number like that. It's in here somewhere. What kind of...
I worked the Islander game.
12,232. 7,000 less than capacity. And if they announced 12,000, that's tickets sold. Maybe actually 8,000 or 9,000 people actually showed up there.
That's right. That's right.
That is the most sorry-ass franchise, as far as their fans are concerned, I've ever seen in my life.
You should see the Islanders, man. That place is
exactly. There's
nobody even goes to see the Islanders.
Yeah, they beat the Penguins 3-1 last night in front of about 50 people. I saw some of that.
Yeah, the Penguins are weak.
No, okay. Have a great day, sir. Penguins are weak. Oh, we got a guy calling all the way from New York, and he don't know nothing about hockey. The Penguins are weak. They only won 10 in a row until last night. They're pretty weak. Ooh. Too bad he don't live down here. He could be calling the sports shows regular. 2 open lines in Dade, 2 in Broward. 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile 1 line. Is everybody out of town this week? Is that it?
Uh-huh.
This week they all bailed out on us. No matter what it is, they got nothing. A zero, zippity doodah. Here's a mobile in Boynton Beach, which these are usually short. Hello.
Hey, Neil. Yeah. How's it going? Hey, I wanted to ask you something, or give you a comment on Sean Burke. I'm, a big hockey fan, but to me, he was playing great. And then that first goal last night, didn't he have like 3 Panther defensemen just behind him, and he went in there and shot twice at Sean Burke and got it in.
Yeah.
It was
ridiculous. So in other words, you're knocking Sean Burke now. Is that what you're saying?
No, Sean Burke was great. I couldn't believe the guys who let him in to score.
Well, that's the deal. You can't complain about their defense because they don't have any.
Oh, okay.
I mean, when they got to bring up this kid Ratchuk again, who again last night was just grotesque and horrendous, mistake after mistake, you know that they got some real problems there.
Exactly. Well, I wanted to say one thing, though. Mandich is God, man. I think my toes would be tickled all the time if you played Mandich. Yeah, here, hold on. I want to say one thing, okay?
Yeah.
Yes! All right!
Okay. See, Mandich he's got his own fan club out there. He's got legions and legions. And when that guy started knocking Mandich, I knew that he was a real asshole. That one earlier. Oh, don't you think Boog is a jackass? No. Well, I mean, you're supposed to agree with me because I just got through talking about Larry King being an ass sucker, okay? That's one thing I don't do here. I mean, there might be some exceptions, but nevertheless. Huh? Well, I mean, there might be, I'm looking at this picture again. I might like get close. We have an open line in Dade, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Oh, God works in mysterious ways. That's why God made some people look like Josh Friedman and some people look like Brendan Bram or Barmer, whatever his name is, because God works in mysterious ways. So I guess the motto is, the deal is if you wind up being born look like Josh Friedman, you're on your own. A lot. Well, see, nobody wants to get near him, not just because he looks bad, but because here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You are God.
Yes.
I just wanted to say a couple of things. First of all, Sean Burke is playing out of his mind lately, so people don't, a lot of people don't know what the hell they're talking about. Number 2, I heard the Neil from the Lotion in the Basket. I heard it because I wake up at 3:30 in the morning to go to work, and I heard it on the Jake to the Brick. I heard it on there.
You heard what?
You know the no you have. The no, not the no, but the other no.
No.
That one.
Yeah.
That one I heard it, and I was, I couldn't stop laughing.
Well, what the hell is he playing that for, that jackass?
I don't know. Number 3.
Maybe somebody asked him if there are any listeners to his show, and he said
no.
Number 3, I got one more thing. Neil Rogers. El Dios Maricón.
All right. Okay. That's right. El Dios Maricón. Now you're getting close, pal. Not too close, though. Send a picture first. 10:56 on another coma day. Hey, listen, I'm feeling better. I'm slowly but surely. It's only been 2 months getting over this thing, this malady, this rash, and all the stuff going along with it. Just stick with your doctor, man. Just to believe in him, and maybe he'll bring you some flowers when they stick in that box.
The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Many of us may not be getting enough.
The Mad Dog is out of control, and you'll find out why when you hear the latest release from Blockbuster Entertainment. Jim Mandich sings Duet.
Well, all right. Riding around in the streets. Well, all right.
Hear the Mad Dog, Jim Mandich, sing classic rock.
All right. All right.
Jim said he felt a little bit foolish.
Kind of like a eunuch in a whorehouse.
But now, he says,
I like it. I like it.
The Mad Dog just can't kiss enough of that cottage cheese butt.
If he wants me to sing God Bless America and pasties and a G-string up here, I'll do it.
You got soul, and everybody knows that it's all right. All right.
Listen to the Mad Dog sing himself happy.
All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Miami.
Jim Mandich sings Duet. Available now at all Blockbuster stores.
It's 11:02 at 560 WQM. Hank will be here from 2 to 6. 6 o'clock we got the Bookster, and then 7 o'clock we got the pregame show. The Panthers at St. Louis. Maybe they'll actually make the plane this time. Maybe they'll show up. Panthers and the Blues in St. Louis tonight. So here's a great fax from Dan, who says, Neil, a few weeks ago I was flying to Tallahassee on business. While I was waiting at the gate, Mayor Alex Penis walked in, sits down next to me. As someone who voted for him on the promise he would not build the American Airlines Arena, I looked right at him and told him he made me sick because he so blatantly lied. He tried to talk to me, but I got up and walked away. Unfortunately, he was on the flight with me, but completely avoided me. Also, Dan asked, does Larry King have Don Imus disease?
No.
I think it's just a corpse wearing suspenders that they propped up in the chair.
Uh-huh.
And then he goes on, this is the best. Dan says, if my wife and I moved to Africa and had children, would they be American Africans?
Yes.
How about a black American moving to Italy or Canada? Would his children then be African American Italian or African American Canadian?
Yes.
Oh, nice going, Dan. Yeah, Mayor Penis, boy, he saved the circle, okay? He sold out to Mickey Arison, but he saved the circle, jerk. In fact, that's what the whole commission ought to be probably doing over there in the circle about noon today. Having a big, gigantic circle jerk, because that's what they're doing to the public again. It'll be taxpayer money that goes to pay off the developer so that they can save this tremendous, whatever this crap is, in the ground. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
You know, this morning I heard the thing about the Calvin Klein ads, and I work in that agency. I've been in that business for like 13, 14 years.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that you can experience some of the frustration that I have to go through when I'm working, because what causes this stuff are these stupid things that they're starting to do now. It's called focus groups.
Yeah.
And what you do is...
Guess what? The radio TV people have been doing that for 100 years, and that really kills us.
Yeah, it's the worst thing, because you'll do this really, really great creative, and everybody loves it. Everybody in the agency that you show it to is dropping over. That's so great. Oh,
Right.
This is going to win every award in the world. Then they ship it off to some room across the country with some people that you don't know, and they hire somebody to critique your work, and all those people in the focus group are like from Mars, and those are the people that say stuff like, oh, this is really offensive, oh, the kids are in underwears, oh my God. And then you can't do it, because the client, which doesn't know anything, never, listens to what the focus people say, but
Right.
they don't listen to the agency's recommendation that's been doing the advertising for like 20 years.
Right.
And that's why crap like that happens.
It's just mind-boggling. Anybody that saw those pictures, I mean, how could anybody except the most perverted, I mean, you know, you could take anything. You could have like a Ma and Pa kettle on there too, and maybe some guy that's into old people would find that titillating. You know, Ma and Pa kettle in their underwear.
Yeah.
I mean, where does it stop in this country, man? The repression is just unbelievable.
You know, and then you've got the
like I said, 60 years ago they had a goddamn Sears robot catalog with you know, young people in bathing suits. And nobody passed out from looking at those.
Hey, I used to look at that magazine and hide it under my bed too.
Right.
Because, you know, my dad didn't.
Well, you must be the only one, because nobody else in this audience knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, with the bras and all that.
Right. There you go.
Hey, can you play me something?
Maybe.
Barney takes a dump.
Okay.
Thanks.
See ya.
See ya.
Clean your act up. We have an open line in day 2 of them, 5670560 pound. I bet you a lot of people in this audience used to yank it to the Sears robot catalog. Isn't that sad? Isn't that pathetic? I preferred Sports Illustrated myself. 567, not the same swimsuit issue as most of you guys. 5670560. In fact, I think what's his name was in there, huh? Do I sound like a little obsessed this morning? Well, it's not every day of my life, goddammit, that I wake up and open up a paper and see something like this. Good God. Man. I guarantee you there are like 99% of the guys out there in this audience right now. If they see that picture, I guarantee you every single one of them say, would you like to look like that? Yes. You'd be busy like every hour of the day except maybe a couple hours for a nap in between. Man. But, you know, God works in mysterious ways. We can't all look good. Yeah, but why like this, you know? Why not a little more like that? Here's a mobile in Kendall. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Neil, I wanted to say something. I just got a notice in my condo about something that's happening over in Baptist Hospital. They're getting children that are dying for putting on these cockamammies on their arms. I just wanted to let the public know that there's something going on.
They're putting cockamammies on their arms. Now, what does that mean, sir? What language
It's poisoning the children.
What is poisoning their children?
The cockamamie's got something in it that's poisoning the
Okay,
children.
well, watch out for the cockamammies. Thank you. You see what I mean about this town? See that? Another dead man with a phone. Oh, this is such an old... You can smell. It's not mold and mildew. It's just the toe jam. It's just all that navel lint. It's just all the rectum overflow. Oh, ancient. You can hear you can smell. If you thank God our windows are like sealed hermetically in here, because if you could even crack them open a little bit, you could smell the death. We have an open line in Broward, 567. What are you smirking about? It's true. You drive through the streets of this town, and you can smell. And of course, your air conditioning, when you bring in that outside air, oh man. Immediately you start saying, or somebody is, the smell of lingering death. Like Anne Bancroft said in that one movie, she said, when we get old, we go to Florida to die. Love Anne Bancroft, by the way. What's that new movie she's in? I don't know. Call up, what's his name, Gene Siskel, after he gets his brain taken out.
Why are you airing shit like this?
Hey, let's eat out Italian tonight.
No, let's eat Jamaican, man.
Now you both win with the new Italian-Jamaican restaurant, Mangia La Ganja, where the more you eat, the hungrier you get. Try the Italian deli featuring the bacon, lettuce, and Jamaica sandwich. It's Mangia La Ganja.
Hey, man, let me roll you a big cannoli. A big Molly Bomber.
Cool. At Mangia La Ganja, Fat Tony and Big Curtis personally smoke all the meats we serve.
Hey, man, show me the lighter. I'm going back to the smokehouse.
From pinstripes to red stripes, you'll really love Mangia La Ganja. It doesn't matter what's on the menu. You'll want it all. A secret blend of herbs and spices. Well, mostly herbs.
Eat up. That's it our joint. We'll Jamaica more.
Yeah, man.
It's 11:13 at 560 WQAM. Now, what if those little kids in the Calvin Klein ads, what if they would all had like a big fat one rolled up in their hand? Huh? Would have been puffing away? Well, that would have been okay. Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
I am driving on I-95, and you talk about a subliminal message. Another Calvin Klein ad. 3 gentlemen in jeans, no shirt on.
Right.
One's bent over, the other guy's right behind him, and another one's looking right at him. Now, what does that tell you? I mean, it kind of sounds.
Tells me it's a provocative billboard.
It is. No, it is. I mean, it is. I'm not getting on it. I'm just wondering why nobody would say anything about that billboard. I mean, that one is blatant.
Well, they haven't found that one yet. They're too busy worrying about they got to protect the children. Don't you understand? They got to protect the children from all these pedophiles.
Listen, one other thing in the Sun Sentinel today: women block ban on sales of sex toys. Did you see that?
No.
Women who say they can't enjoy themselves in the bedroom without sex toys like vibrators asked a federal judge on Wednesday to block a new Alabama law banning the sale of such items. I mean, come on, do people actually go... Okay, today's Sun Sentinel, page 6A. Do people actually go into court over this and debate this stuff?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Welcome to America.
See you now.
Have a great day.
Thanks.
I guess he hasn't caught on yet.
That's the American fucking way.
That's right. We have an open line in Broward, 2 and Dade, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. You know, like I said, all these people are so full of crap. Years ago, one of the big mistakes I made, besides talking to all those old, boring old people and having those terminal guests on, was actually paying attention to most of the callers. You know, once in a while, like this last guy, he had something to say and was like fairly rational, but most of the callers are full of crap. They talk nonsense, and they certainly don't, they tell you, like the guy that wanted me to agree with him. They posture for you, just like the people in the media do. The American public does the same thing. Maybe that's why the media people do it. They say the things in public like this, like over the airwaves, that they think are like palatable, and like these are things you can say in public. But like yesterday when I was talking about crappy service and the fact that there are a lot of ethnic minorities who are in jobs that they shouldn't be in, you know, people run away from that. Even though you know overwhelmingly the majority of people agree with that, it's like, we don't want to say it. We'll let you say it. Spineless jellyfish. 5670560, pound 560 in the AT, whatever it is. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello. Mobile in Fort Lauderdale.
That's me, Neil.
That's you. It sounds just like you.
First time, long time.
Great.
Just a thought with the circle. Our ancestors went out of their way to kill every Indian that they can get their hands on, and now we're spending millions of dollars for some arrowheads.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't get it.
It doesn't make sense. These poor Indians were probably lost. They want to get back home, so they dug a few things in the ground.
Maybe we'll find some Indian head pennies in there, you know?
And
maybe enough to pay for this.
Then once they found out where the stars were lined up, they got the hell out of here.
Uh-huh.
Went back.
And who the hell can blame them, by the way?
I'm telling you. I'm breaking up. Take
okay,
care.
See you.
Bye-bye.
2 open lines in Dade, 2 in Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Miami Shores. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
This is Ray, Miami Shores. I'm looking at the Calvin Klein ad right now.
Yes?
And underneath it says controversy. What can be so controversial about two little kids just jumping on a sofa, just hanging out, like resting, like, you know, you remember that when you were a kid? I mean, they just have smiles. There's
They're
nothing
little kids in underwear. They're not like bare butts like in a lot of those other spots.
No,
They're little kids in underwear.
They're laughing. They're jumping around.
Yeah.
And this is boys' underwear. If America thinks this is wrong, you know,
And
I would
so,
like
sir,
to renounce
let me put it this way. Anybody who believes there's anything sexual about it or anything wrong with it, those people we need to get the butterfly net, round them all up, and put them away for psychiatric help.
This is right. This is.
In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Tinky Winky's in the back involved in this thing somehow. Have a great day, pal.
You too.
Oh, that Calvin Klein, you know, it's outrageous. It's wrong. And like I said, they all got a pander, just like Bubba was doing there a couple of years ago when the big sinners came with the scantily clad teenagers. I hate to break the news to you, but people like looking at scantily clad young people who look good, okay? They like that. And I know that it comes as a great shock, but people were like, 16, 17 years old, just like Brooke Shields with those jeans ads she did. She was 14 years old when she did that. And she was spanking her butt, the whole deal. So big deal. I mean, sure, it did screw up her life a little bit. She was running around with George Michael and Michael Jackson. She had a little bit of a problem there. Do you think she's a fag hag? That's our poll question today. Is that I want to make it easy for you. Kenneth Masmont. No, who's the bigger fag hag, Liz Taylor or what's her name, Brooke Shields? But you tell me that people didn't go. I'll give you an example. The movie, what the hell was the movie? The Blue Lagoon, with Brooke Shields and Chris Atkins running around naked as a jaybird in there. And boy, oh boy, you talk about a button mushroom, man. That Chris Atkins. No wonder he always looked so embarrassed when he was on with Merv Griffin, or maybe because Merv was like real friendly. But at any rate, people went to see that. Adults went to see that, not because it was a great movie, not because it was a great story, not because it was touching, not because it was great acting, because there was like, good-looking young people naked in there through the whole movie. That didn't mean people were like jumping up out of the audience, climbing onto the screen, trying to hump the movie screen. But what's the big deal with that? Oh no, people aren't sexual until they're at least 40, 50 years old. That's what I'm hearing. But the idea of little kids in underwear being sexual, Whoever, I'm going to say it again, whoever made these protests, those are the pedophiles right there. Okay? Right there, those are the sickies. Because you have to be so goddamn sick, so perverted to look at something as shapeless and sexless as a little child and think that there could possibly be anything sexual about that. You need serious help. You need to be locked away for a very long time, along with, what's her name there on the Guiding Light? Well, she's rounding up all the kids anyway. Holly. Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Yeah, hi Neil. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
When I heard you talking, I hadn't seen the Calvin Klein ads.
Well, evidently nobody else, maybe 2 or 3 in this audience. Every time I talk about stuff, man, it's like I'm talking stuff from Mars. This audience is so slow.
Well, I
about
didn't get a chance
2 weeks they'll be calling in about this.
I didn't get a chance to look at the newspaper this morning except for the front pages. I thought you were talking about the guy that did the 6,100 sit-ups, and he's in the. It's like either
now that picture is that's a cool picture, but of course he's 20 years old, so he's almost old enough.
Yeah, I know, but
I did talk about him. I talked about him at length. I'm looking at that picture right now. I'm never going to let this picture go.
Well, I'd do him in a heartbeat.
I'll bet.
Anyway, I'm surprised. I always get amused when I watch the cable channels because on my cable box, Channel 52, which during the day is a travel channel, and then at night it turns into the porno channel.
Yeah.
Is right next to Channel 53, obviously, which is the All Cartoon Network.
Oh. Yeah. Well, you notice. See, they're even seeping across on the cable channels. Okay.
I just thought that was amusing.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jack Berry were still alive. He'd probably try to bring back Winky Dink, and you know what Jerry would say about that.
Anyway. Also,
you know how many years ago that is, Winky Dink and you? That was like in the 50s. That's 40-some years ago. And they used to have this little, you'd send in for it, and they would send you this little make-believe plastic screen you'd put on the TV screen, and you'd have
of course.
Winky Dink and you with Jack Berry. It was a little kid show. But, man, a name like that, here we are almost at the end of this century, and Winky Dink, Jerry Falwell, he'll be doing cartwheels over this.
I can't give any validation to him. I mean, it's so ludicrous what he says. How can you validate it?
Well, when that Teletubby starts, he's going to be big. Have a
one
great
other
day,
thing
pal. Yes.
That irritated me. Now, I ride motorcycles, and I'm a professional person. And I don't know if you read about the supposedly outlaw party that they had out off of US 27 Griffin Road last weekend.
No.
And the police, with the hoods and all that kind of, from all the different agencies in the area there, set up roadblocks and stopped all of the motorcyclists to search them for whatever reason. Every single one. There's probably 200 motorcyclists out there.
Yeah. Maybe they were looking for Peter Fonda.
Well, they probably found him because they were certainly searching every orifice that people had out there.
Yeah, but that's the biker police now. We have a group of police for virtually everything else now. We have the adult pleasure yourself toys in Alabama police that are out there stealing, confiscating pocket rockets. Yeah. That's right.
I got to get the hell out of this country. I'm out of material, Neil.
Get to the passport office right away, pal.
You got it.
And squeeze it tight. Okay, we have an open line in Dade 1 in Broward, 5-6. Oh, you're so bad. You tell all these things. Yeah, I tell all these things because they're true. Can anybody refute me about this? Can anybody call in on the show and say I'm hallucinating, hyperventilating, making this stuff up? Can anybody do that?
No.
Of course not. And by the way, I'll give you my opinion about Roger Clemens and David Wells. They're both fat. How do you like that? They're both big, fat, tubby guys who'll eat either team out of house and home. Forget about all the money they're getting paid. Open line in Dade County, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's West Palm Beach. Hello.
Yeah. How you doing?
Okay.
Listen, I'm black. I live here in West Palm Beach. I've been listening to you for a long time.
Yes, sir?
I agree with you a lot of things. But this thing with the circle, I mean, what does a white man got to do with that? They're the ones that enslaved the Indians and did everything else, and now they're going to save a circle?
That's my point. It's all just a grandstand play. That's all just a bunch of PR, bunch of bullcrap.
That shouldn't,
wasting more taxpayer money just to try to grandstand. Oh, we're saving this historical site. My big dog has left a lot of bombs over the years in my backyard. And someday when I come to sell my house, I think I'm going to call the Broward County government and say, I want to be paid millions of dollars because I want to preserve this history in my backyard. Because my dog has left a lot of bombs back there.
Let them go to the Miccosukee and help them, or the Seminoles, or all the other Indians that are down and out.
That's right.
Instead of,
let them take all that money and take it to Hollywood Seminole Gaming and plunge their brains out. At least the taxpayers have a good time with it.
Another thing I agree with you on is you're right. Say what you have to say about the incompetent blacks or Hispanics or whoever.
Or
with you
whoever
on
they
that.
are. I don't care who they are. If
Exactly,
they think
because
they
if
think
they're
it, dumb,
incompetent, they're
dumb.
incompetent. They are.
Right.
And you're right about that. But nobody's got the guts to say that.
Well, I do.
And it's true. And
I go into a place. Like I said, I don't expect it to be treated with velvet gloves or it's Neil Rogers. I don't even like that stuff. I just want to go in with my money, be treated like a customer, get reasonable service, and walk out. That's all. That's all. And that's very simple.
But the truth hurts, and we got to face up. There are a lot of people that don't know how to add, read, or write. And multiply, that's why they got the registers like they do.
And those people should be ranging stock on the shelves,
Exactly.
as long as it's something like
man.
stationary,
And all the races, just say it, and these people always try to hide the politically correct.
Right,
bull.
that's right. That's why I'm
hate
so
that
disgusted
word.
with this country. That's what I was talking about a minute ago. Nobody in this country except me and maybe 2 or 3 other people actually tell it like it really is, and everybody else just postures and says the things they think are politically correct.
I want you to play something for me if
Yes,
you can
sir.
sometime. That crack cocaine one.
Okay, you got it.
Okay.
And have a great day. We have 2 open lines in Dade, 567-0560. But I don't understand even on the talk shows the people that want to say, they always feel they got to dance around the edges of it. They got to be, somebody might recognize their voice. They got an opinion that's unpopular. Why are there so many goddamn cowards out there? That's what bugs me. That guy that called this morning, he was perfect. Oh, I know you'll agree with me. No, I don't agree with you. Why does he know I'll agree with him? He was full of crap. Picking on my good fat friend, Luke Shambi. Well, you'll agree. And then, of course, picking on Mandich. Boy, I should have known right off the bat that this guy was a major loser. Anybody that picks on Jim Mandich is pure, unadulterated in my book, okay? I know talent when I hear it. Believe you me, okay? I know talent. And Jim Mandich, of all these ex-jocks in America, all the ex-jocks in America on the radio, he is the best. Number 1. He's funny, he's hysterical, he knows his crap besides. And he never stole a freight train.
Yes! I think I like my baby.
2 rocks for every time.
Okay.
I be rolling with a trunk load in my 81 Buick. Crack City, here I be come. And if I have to bust a cap, I just say I didn't do it. Crack City, here I be come. And when I get to Crack City, I go to the third world and ask around the club on who be buying my girl. Yeah, I be going to Crack City to the floating nightclubs. Yeah, I be going to Crack City and be stabbing my blood. When I be going to Crack City and unload my junk, I never go to Crack City without packing my gun. Yeah, 2 rocks for every time. Know that every now and then I sell some crack to a white dude. Crack City, here I become. Some was buck or in the intersection working for free food. Crack City, here I become. Well, I'll be cruising by the Purple House with no windows and be knocking on Moesha. She my favorite hoe. Yeah, he's going to Crack City, and I'm gonna sell my crack. But I'll be going to Crack City. You can count on that. I'll be going to Crack City and blast my rap. I'll be going to Crack City, 'cause I be bad, yeah. 2 rocks for every time. That's right. It's supposed to be a guitar here.
What are you talking about?
You mean you can't play no guitar?
Everyone play no guitar.
Say what? It's 11:33 at 560 WQAM. We got a couple open lines in Dade County. If you're interested, we're sure you're not. 567-0560. Any women today so far?
No.
567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Maybe we had one and I forgot her. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Hey, Neil, first-time caller. How you
Yes,
doing?
sir. Great.
Hey, listen, I was wondering, why is it that the Florida Panthers have to always try to entertain us while we're at the games?
You know who I think this is, George? Yeah. And?
Well, why is that?
Why are you calling here, sir?
Well, what's the difference?
We have an open line in Broward. That's that asshole Mitch. Open line in Broward and 2 and Dade. See, why don't you get the message? I hate you like poison. I don't want to see you at the games. I will not talk to you. I know your voice. You're a jackass. You're trying to be an agent provocateur. You're an overgrown child. You're a simpleton. You're a mental midget. See, if you had anything to say, like if you were like a normal caller that really had anything to say, then maybe somebody might talk to you. Not me, of course, but maybe somebody. I don't mean like on the air. I mean just like in life. Maybe somebody would speak to you. Maybe Brian Murray would say, hey, how about another submarine sandwich? Something like that. But obviously they won't because you're like a loser. You're a total guarantee. You've got it branded on your forehead. Loser, loser. In fact, I didn't even have to listen to the voice. I could smell him over the phone. I knew it wasn't Josh Friedman. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT. That whiny voice, Mitch. Whiny voice. I'd check and see what you got down there, okay? I'd look real close if I were you, because I think it might be a vagina. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello?
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I was at the concert Sunday night, the Greasiest concert.
The Greasiest? Yes.
Luis Enriquez.
No, not
And,
Enrique Iglesias. See.
Yes.
Pick it
yes.
right.
Oh, sorry, I can speak. That lady, the reporter, she's full of mierda.
See.
Because the concert was great. He came out, all the little girls were jumping, all the old ladies were crying.
Right.
And all the fags were drooling.
Right.
He was,
which category were you? I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was there.
Just as a bystander, I know.
It was a great concert, small place, the Night Center. He jammed the house, and it was great. I don't know what she was talking about.
She just pissed off because he won't let her touch. That's all. She just been out of shape.
He doesn't even look as skinny as he used to. He's gotten a little bulkier. You can tell he's been working
Put a little
it
meat
for a
on
little
his
while.
bone. That's right.
Yeah, he's been working it.
But
and
he's still hung like a butterfly, so don't get too carried away.
well, you couldn't see that from when I was standing.
Yeah.
And remember, chupa, pero no muerdas.
Okay. We have an open line in Dade 2 in Broward, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how you doing? Well, I was on hold. I overheard George bitching about
this place.
About this place,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well, we spent a lot of time doing that because this is such an unprofessional Bush League operation. It's Greg and his buddies upstairs. That's what this place is all about.
Hey, George,
it's
I
not
got
a
an
professional
inside
place.
George, I got an inside joke for you. Why are you still here?
Meaning what?
That's what he was bitching about.
Oh, yeah, talking about when he's here at 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah, and everybody's
well, don't be
playing
stealing his
games.
material. He's going to want to use this on here someday.
There you go. Another question I had for you. As far as puts the lotion in the basket,
Jess?
I know he was telling me it comes from Silence of the Lambs.
See?
I'm lost. Where does that come from? Is it an excerpt from the movie or?
Jess.
Jess?
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 It'd be an excerpt from the movie where he says,
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Okay, do you think you can play the whole bit?
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Okay, pal, you got it. We have two open lines in Dade, one in Broward. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I'm going to, how long is this going to take? Just a minute or two. Newspaper perpetuates lie that county doesn't want gambling, writes Bill Colin to the Sun Sentinel this morning. Bill from Sunrise. Nice going, Bill.
Oh!
Please explain why the media continue to lie about the vote concerning casino gambling, he writes. Your paper knows that the citizens of Broward County voted overwhelmingly for casino gambling. The media continue to conceal this truth. The liberal politicians in Tallahassee ignore the millions that gambling ships bring to the economy. I'm told the politicians in Tallahassee turned down over $300 million a year by the Seminole tribes who wanted to bring casinos to the reservations. Do they have any idea what that money could do for our economy and our schools? He asks.
No.
Broward County is being subjected to an injurious position by those who control the legislature. The astute citizens know that the interests in the Orlando area who control the theme parks have an undue influence over South Florida. Furthermore, the legislature continues to engage in social engineering by attempting to shape the social climate of South Florida by preventing casino gambling in Broward County. The ludicrous argument is that casino gambling would increase crimes and nuisances, yet the legislators thirst to obtain some of the profits from the gambling ships sailing in Florida. Isn't this perverse, he asks.
Yes.
Theirs was an attempt to have a vote throughout Florida, which would allow the citizens of each county to decide whether or not they wanted to allow casino gambling in their respective counties. We know that the citizens of Broward will overwhelmingly vote to legalize such practices in Broward County.
Yes!
The economy of Broward would rise considerably. This doesn't even take into consideration the tens of millions of dollars that would occur with the needs of those casinos. These millions of dollars are lost to Broward County by the citizens going to the Bahamas and other islands where gambling is legal. It is time that the people of Broward be allowed to vote as to whether they want casinos to be allowed in Broward County. It is past time, says Bill Colin in Sunrise. Good for you, Bill. Don't hold your breath, but good for you. Right on, baby. Hypocrites at the Sunset and all you other phony balonies.
This station stands for nothing.
This is Debbie.
Oh, hi, Debbie. I'm interested in getting some operations done.
Okay.
And some body contouring and some liposuction.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if you get some tummy tuck and lip augmentation, cosmetic breast surgery, facelift, all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering...
What would you like to start with?
Well, I need to get everything done. Probably the first thing I'd like to have removed is my thing.
Okay, we don't do that.
No. Could you do breast implants, though?
It can be done, but I don't know that they would do it the right way.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Mm-hmm.
How much?
$5,000.
Excellent. I'd like to have my skin resurfaced, too.
Mm-hmm.
Laser surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Have the lambs stopped crying yet, Mommy?
Excuse me?
Don't hurt Mommy's little baby. It puts the lotion in the basket. I'd like to get the liposuction that I saw on TV.
Okay.
Can you make me look more like a woman?
Well, we'll have to see you first, and then upon looking at you, we can tell you that when we see you.
Should I wear my skin suit made of body parts, Mommy?
If you'd like to.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Would you like to make an appointment?
Yes.
Okay. There is a $100 consultation fee.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay.
My name is Buffalo Bill.
Okay, let me get a little information from you, okay? Just one moment.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
I understand.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Do you want to come in for a consultation for
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Okay. Would you like to make an appointment, or do you want to call me back?
It puts the lotion in the basket.
I understand.
I've got my skin suit nipple necklace.
Bill.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
I understand that. Would you like to
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Would you like to make an appointment?
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Okay, I will talk to you another time, okay?
It puts the lotion in the basket. Hello?
Now it places the lotion in the basket.
Okay, it's 11:45 at 560 WQAM. Dade County's dead, 567, but we already knew that. Hey, they're working on a circle over there, for Christ's sakes. What do you want? They're doing the heavy-duty stuff. 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Pompano Beach. Hello? Pompano Beach.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I just want to know if they make any mention of these people that are looking into this Calvin Klein ad, and who they are and how they end up with so much time on their hands that they can.
Well, you know, I saw it on TV last night. I saw it again this morning.
Yes.
But now evidently there must be a thing on it in the paper this morning, which I did not see yet. And I'm hoping, I'm positive that somewhere in this, all they did was say that, there was some, because of objections by various groups, et cetera, and so on, they didn't identify who the hell they were. Maybe the paper they do.
Oh, because my wife and I saw that on the news this morning, and I thought it was the funniest thing I had ever seen.
Little kids in underwear. What could possibly be offensive about that?
Who knows?
We got little kids naked on ads on TV, and who cares about that either?
Right. Can I call someone a douchebag?
Yes, sir.
Steve Kaplan, you're a douchebag.
And amen.
Thank you.
See ya. By the way, somebody maybe will call and tell us which page and what, because I haven't seen the article in the paper. But now as I'm leafing through here, because we're not going to get many calls today, here's that story from Huntsville, Alabama. See, ordinarily, I read the papers selectively, because generally these two papers, you can read them, you can take a good and finish both papers complete front to back, because they both suck. There's nothing to read in them. There's no real columns, there's no real, like just that one article from the New York Post that Hank clipped out for me, that thing about Larry King. You won't read that stuff here. We got guys who could write stuff like that here, like Tom Jicka, but Tom is more interested in writing these things about, this TV series is being canceled. Write something about that people care about. Write something with some real opinions about stuff that people care about. Come on, Tom. What's happened to good old Tom Jicka? He used to be such a, too many of those insipid shows with Ed Kaplan, too many of those gambling shows at night. What's wrong with Tom?
He's stupid!
Yeah, but he's a good guy. So did somebody call and tell you which page that story's on, by the way, with a picture of the babies? Did anybody call? No? Maybe there isn't any story with a picture. It's got to be in there. Let me say it again. Did anyone call and tell you which page and which paper
No.
these stories in? Because I'm trying to
Someone
find out.
called and said Donald Wildman.
Oh, Donald Wildman from the Christian Coalition. There you go again, starting up again. They haven't even started the campaign yet. But they're monitoring, baby. They're monitoring just to make sure. Maybe Donald Wildman likes little kids in underwear, huh? Could be. Huntsville, Alabama. Women who say they can't enjoy themselves in the bedroom without sex toys like vibrators asked a federal judge on Wednesday to block a new Alabama law banning the sale of such items.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Better lock away your pocket rocket because the pocket rocket police are coming. If it's in Alabama now, it won't be long before it seeps down here to Florida, down the peninsula. Those challenging the 1998 law contend it violates privacy rights by indirectly prohibiting adults from engaging in legal acts behind closed doors. But the state contends there is no fundamental right to a product used to produce an orgasm. Oh, my God! Oh, my God! How about a carrot? How about a Lykes wiener?
Zucchini.
How about a zucchini? How about a goddamn eggplant? Well, how about a cucumber? How about a kosher dill? U.S. District Judge Linwood Smith gave no indication on when he might rule. The ban on sex toys in this Bible Belt state was signed by Governor Fob James, who was defeated in November. James backed prayer in the school and once threatened to call out the National Guard to keep the Ten Commandments on a courtroom wall. Oh, yeah, I remember that crap. What a lunatic. What a wacko. The ban was added to a law to prohibit nude dancing. Selling or distributing any device designed or marketed as useful primarily for the stimulation of human genital organs was made punishable up to a year in jail and a $10,000 fine. The law is not being enforced pending the outcome. How do you enforce it? Hey, lady, can I come in? Let me look in there. The law is not being enforced pending the outcome of the lawsuit, which was filed by 6 women, 4 of whom they say used vibrators for gratification that they could not otherwise achieve. The other 2 women sell sexual devices at stores or during in-home shows. Mark Lopez of the ACLU, representing users and sellers of sex toys, told the judge that many sex therapists recommend the devices for women who can't achieve orgasm. We've got the orgasm police. There you go. I told you this is a goddamn police state, this country you're living in. You don't believe me. Oh, you get so carried away. No, I don't. We had the penis police, the blowjob police, and now we got the dildo police. I got to read that one line again. I am just, the state of Alabama contends there is no fundamental right to a product used to produce an orgasm. How about candles? Halloween, right out of business in Alabama. No more Halloween. Of course, that's a satanic thing anyway. We know that. Can you just start conjuring up all the various objects, Coke bottles? I mean, stop and think about the various things that have been found inside women's parts. So they're going to have to go in and basically close up the supermarket. Especially the fruit and produce thing. Oh yeah, ballpoint pens. Number 6 pencil. Especially the ones that only had the eraser and no head. Well, I mean, we're dealing with crazy people. The religious people. Neil Rogers on this station is the only person in America who's been telling you for 23 years now. Well, these are the crazy people. The nutcase people sticking their noses into people's houses. Oh, well, look what she's doing in there. We can hear it out here. It's not the Roto-Rooter, man. We know that. And then, of course, they're going to have to stop selling batteries because those devices, most of them, not all of them, but some of them run on batteries. They're going to even ban the goddamn Duracell man from Alabama. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello?
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday, Gildy made a comment about the Dolphin ticket increased about $3.
Uh-huh.
He said that it was not bad, but when you got a family, and it's
well,
about
talk to Gildy about it, okay? Talk to him. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about jock stuff. We have an open line in Broward and 2 in Dade. One-dimensional audience out there, man. You make me want to just get on my hands and knees and puke. 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile on the alley. Hello?
Good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I had to call. The whole Christian Coalition thing has got me outraged. It started last week with this thing with Tinky Winky, and I've got a 2-year-old child. It's a goddamn child's show.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of it. Purple is the color. well, isn't purple the color of Jesus' robe, if I'm not mistaken, from their Bible?
Yeah.
They said the triangle. Well, goodness, isn't that the sign of the Trinity?
Oh, yeah, there's a big article in here about the British, again, are peeing in our pants because it's a British show, and they just can't believe how stupid and
Well, then they said
Americans
something.
are.
Then they said something about a magic bag. If I'm not mistaken, when I was a child, Felix the cat had a magic bag.
Yeah, he wishes he still had it with the Islanders, by the way, too.
You know, I'm just so sick of this Christians being the first ones to pick up a rock and throw it if you don't believe in what theirs. And I was raised under Christian, but why is it that you don't see born-again rabbis out there preaching? It bothers me.
Oh, you do. You do. You got the crazy Orthodox in Israel and in Brooklyn. They're all over the place. Get a new phone, sir, and call me back someday. The fanatic in everywhere, the more, like I told you before, what's the point of repeating it? The more fanatical they are, the crazier they are. And the more intolerant they are, and the more this kind of crap happens. Open line in Broward, 2 in Dade, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a lady mobile in the Keys. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I on the air?
It sounds like you.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
We're heading through Key Largo right now, going north, and I want you to call my husband a flaming...
Okay, great. Okay, we have an open line in Broward, 2 in Dade. You know, this is very sad to me, you know, this show. This whole town is so sad. It's like, I've said this for years, it's like there are two different shows going on. The show that I'm doing, and then the show that they're doing. And, oh, by the way, that was Andy from Hollywood, the asshole before, not Mitch. But guess what? It's the same person, basically. Pretty much so. Different body, same asshole. I mean, Andy from Hollywood faxes us to make sure that we know that he was the jackass, not Mitch from... and anybody else, I would apologize. But in Mitch's case, will I apologize?
No.
Of course not. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Maybe the reason we're not getting too much response this week, maybe after Tinky Winky, that put them over the edge. They're all running down to the passport office to get a hold of Il Pasaporto and squeeze it tight. Here's Cape Coral. Hello.
Neil, what's up?
Yes, sir.
Hey, got a great story for you. Just pulled into a supermarket over here. There's this old blue here putting his groceries in. That's probably a 1975 Lincoln Continental. Got a big sign on the dash as I looked in. Reminder, turn off, turn signal. No kidding.
It says what?
Turn off, turn signal. He's got a reminder in there.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. We'll think about that one for a while, sir. Excellent. He thought it was great. See what I mean? One thing about this audience, very often they will respond immediately even though they don't realize it. Right there, that's exactly what I'm talking about. He thought it was very amusing. Here's Miami. Hello.
Yeah, is it me?
That sounds like you, yes.
Hey, Neil, I'm just sitting here trying to contemplate the world, and I'm thinking about this guy that wants to ban the Calvin Klein ads.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably one of these guys that's selling child pornography on the internet.
Probably.
And figures he'll cut in on his business.
He's probably got an enormous website on there, and he's peddling it.
He's going to cut in on his business.
Uh-huh.
That's all I got for you.
Okay, no more Sears Robot catalog either, pal.
All right.
Okay. That's right. We're going to have to, in fact, what they're going to do is they're going to run around, they're going to send all their little Christian soldiers all over America with scissors cutting out the pictures that they deem to be inappropriate from all the mail order catalogs. So when you get your catalog at the store there or in the mail, you'll find like a lot of empty holes. I shouldn't say that. In fact, in Alabama, there's probably going to be a lot of empty, well, that's bad. 4 minutes before noon at 560 QAM.
This is 560 QAM.
I know that the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
We are from Heaven's Gate. To join us, you must wear black. Cut off your nuts and drink vodka with applesauce and some phenobarbital. We will pick up your soul on our way through your galaxy. So have your packed and be dead when Nailbot is closest to Earth. Thank you.
Cyber geeks in all black Moses waiting for our UFO. Where's my UFO? Here on Earth we're out of place 'cause we belong in outer space. Keeping out of space. Something we call Heaven's Gate. I got you so I can't be late. Laying down in my cot wearing Nikes. This is not the existence I won't take. Someone's gonna find us. Backpack to pocket change. Our containers decompose. I sure could use some phenobarbital. So don't get me some phenobarbital. With vodka and some applesauce. Just totally hit the mat. Oh, son, now where's got chopped and we waited for Hey-O Bob. Wait for Hey-O Bob. The end of the had explained how we'd meet up with our space plane. Right on a space plane. Just ran into Kurt Cobain.
Now, you don't got to go to outer space. Just go to Huntsville, Alabama. That's not too far. 2 minutes after noon at 560 WQM. And for some reason, the nephew, Chris Reed, is on the, I don't know why they keep doing this. I guess because they got to do something. He's got the QAM van out there. Let's see. He's at the Northwest 67th Avenue exit off the Palmetto in the McDonald's parking lot. He'll be there between 12:30 and 1:30 with free tickets for the Dan Marino Celebrity Golf Tournament this weekend, free Hurricanes Pittsburgh basketball tickets for Tuesday the 23rd at 7:30 p.m. in Miami Arena, Hurricanes Rutgers basketball tickets for Saturday the 27th noon in the arena, the new I Turn Neil Rogers on T-shirts and DNH bumper stickers, and et cetera and so on. 12:30 to 1:30, the QM van. Look for it. 67th Avenue exit off the Palmetto in the McDonald's parking lot. Which they must be getting free food out there or something because they keep going back there. Remember they went out there with the stuff? Okay, we have an open line at Broward 2 and Dade, 5670560, pound 560 on the Mobile 1 line. Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
I think everything that's going on with this religious right is excellent because we're exposing them for what they really are, a bunch of nim-witted fools.
Don't say exposing it, sir.
I mean, do you agree? Do you think
that... but we already
the
know,
Republican Party
we already
is doomed.
know that, but the fact is that they're getting laws passed in various states around the country, including this one, that are taking away people's rights to do even the most private and whatever they're doing. We already know that they're a bunch of nutcases.
Well, that's true, Neil, but don't you think that within the next elections, the Republicans are going to be exposed for basically sleeping with these guys?
Yeah.
And don't you think they'll suffer from that in the elections?
In Alabama?
Not in Alabama, but where?
Well, that's my advice then. Stay out of Alabama. Have a great day, pal. Dade County's open. Wide open. Open wide, sweetheart. 5670560, pound 560 on a Mobile 1 line. Selling or distributing any device designed or marketed as useful primarily for stimulation of human genital organs was made punishable in Alabama by up to a year in jail and a $10,000 fine.
Only $50.
Even, I'm going to tell you something, even the one-celled amoebas are looking at this and they're saying, oh my God, are these humans stupid? Any device sold primarily as if it's somebody's business what you're doing inside your house or inside your apartment or inside your tea room, wherever the hell you are. And you can, well, it's Alabama, but you know what?
That's the American fucking way.
That's right. More and more and more. They're making inroads because the rest of the people are sitting back watching Teletubbies or whatever they're watching. Which, by the way, the thing about the Teletubbies is on two-way in that People in the News thing in the Herald this morning. If Tinky were gay, his bag would match his shoes. Any gay person would know that. There's the whole deal right there. That's right. So straight assholes, they're the ones that can't figure it out. They're all confused, like Jerry, and we're not too sure about him. Here's a Mobile in Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Oh, Neil.
Yes,
oh,
sir.
Neil, what would I do without you every day? What would I do without...
Well, you'll find something. Open line in Dade 1 in Broward. Maybe we'll hook you up with Mitch and Andy in Hollywood. 5670560 and pound 560 on the Mobile 1 line. Here's Moral Gables. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Morning, Neil.
Morning.
Well, good afternoon.
Good evening.
Hey, just to change the subject, Neil.
Why?
Why don't they give the Golden Asshole Award to Monica Lewinsky, Linda Tripp, Paula Jones, and Ken Starr?
What about
and
Lucianne
use the $40
Goldberg?
million for
What about
kids?
Lucianne Goldberg? And what about you? Okay, open line at Dade 1 in Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on the Mobile 1 line. Palm Beach, Fort Myers. Are we still on the air, Fort Myers? Does anybody really...
No.
Huh? Do you...
No.
The answer? And is that Jack Ball still on in the morning? Do we...
No.
The answer to that? The one that's doing all his fag routines? Oh, so help me God, that Port St. Lucie, which I have no idea why you keep putting that on. Port St. Lucie, hello?
Hey, Neil, good afternoon.
Yes?
How are you, sir?
Okay.
I'm going to be in town.
Oh, yeah, that's your buddy. I told you. Greg, formerly of Boynton Beach, now from Port St. Lucie. I don't care where you're going to be, okay? You're another asshole. And see, you notice what the fact said? He's buddies with the other. It's like a little ring. Remember the days when Gilbert used to be the pivot man? Well, he's old news, you know. They wore him out. He can no longer be the pivot man. So now these guys, all like a little cluster fork. 5670560, pound 560 on the Mobile line. It's great when you look when I can look on the screen and see where the call is coming from, and I already know who it is. Nice going.
Neil, God.
Thank you. Here's a Mobile in Fort Myers. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Okay.
Don't ask if you're still on here. You're the only thing that's on the air here in
Yeah.
Fort Myers. You were running down a list of things that they might have to ban in Alabama. You said candles, this, that, the other.
Right.
You left off a couple big ones. What about the human hand, which maybe they will ban in Alabama?
Yeah, but you don't, unless they left a few laying around, they're not selling those in the stores. I'm talking about things you can buy in a store.
Oh, okay, because that leaves out my last point, which was they have to ban the human touch, which they can't ban in Alabama because they wouldn't have a governor.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay, thank you. What did he say? He said Dade County was wide open, 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Maricon, there you go. Maybe we'll get Dade County awake now. Maricon, magic circle, okay? Circle jerk. That'll do it for Dade County. 567-0560. Are we going too fast for you?
Uh-huh.
And pound 560 on the infamous mobile one line. We pay for it. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello?
Neil.
Yes.
Hey, couple comments on that law you just read. I guess then they're going to have to start selling vibrators as personal massagers, and motorcycles will be banned also.
That's right.
What do you think?
And they also won't be able to put that fur on the seat anymore.
Thank you.
Okay. They think it's funny. You know, it's funny in a very sick way. They think it's amusing. Wait till they do it in Florida. Wait till they take away your pocket rocket. That bitch up there in Orlando, Erin Summers, she'll be out of business. Remember that hot sex bitch they used to be on at night?
I'm actually a lesbian.
Well,
I'm
whatever.
actually a
Yeah,
lesbian.
we know. The first time was good. Whatever. Here's a mobile in Coral Springs. Hello? Coral Springs. Going once.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you see Jesse Ventura trying to get some of the old laws off the books in Minnesota,
Yeah.
such as unmarried adults, who are not allowed to have sex now. They could be arrested. He was on like Tom Snyder last night talking about all the opposition that he's getting, trying to get these old laws by the conservative right,
Yeah.
off the books, and he's having all kinds of trouble.
Well, he's going to discover, and I'm sure he already knows it, that Minnesota, there's a lot of real old, prudish, uptight Swedes up there,
That's
There
right.
are.
And I guess also in Alabama, I guess they're not going to sell any more fruits and vegetables.
That's right. Produce department shutting down.
You got it. Thanks, Neil.
And have a great day. I absolutely want to puke.
The station that delivers presents a Deliverance Weekend all weekend long. You can qualify by winning video cassettes of the movie Deliverance. What is it you require? We require that you listen to the radio all weekend long.
Don't say anything, just move.
The grand prize winner will be flown to Dothan, Georgia for a canoe trip for two down the Cohulawasi River, including accommodations in beautiful Aintree. It's easy to win.
Now let's you just drop them fast. Just take them right off. It's hanging. Take them off.
Simply be the 10th caller every time you hear Ned Beatty squeal like a pig. It's the Deliverance Weekend all weekend long. From the station that gets you where it hurts. Q95.
Y'all come back now. Boy, there's something about people that talk with the drawl and the stupidity, like as in the Deep South, as in Huntsville, Alabama, and most of the Deep South, dumb. I mean, dumber than sawdust. 12:14 at 560 WQAM. So Chris is there with a QAM van now, by the way. Don't accuse me of not plugging the hell out of it. If he gets his tremendous response over there as we're having here today, then he ought to be there till midnight. Unloading those tickets to the Dan Marino Celebrity Golf Tournament. And those Hurricane Pittsburgh basketball tickets and Hurricane Rutgers basketball tickets and the new I Turn Neil Rogers on t-shirts and D&H bumper stickers. QAM van, Northwest 67th Avenue exit, right off the Palmetto in the McDonald's parking lot between now and 1:30 or until all the stuff is gone. Good luck. You'll need it. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
All right, you saying the state of Alabama will stick you in jail if you play with anything? That's what they're saying?
Did you hear the story that I read, sir?
I heard some of it.
Yeah.
Because what would happen if Sally Fitz moves down to Alabama?
Excellent point. She's out. That's right. She's all right. They already got her picture on the billboards at the state line. Good point. Sally, you're out. Won't see her on no TV in Alabama, with or without a banjo on her. We have an open line at Broward 2 and Dade, 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Nothing cranks their chain today, I'll tell you that. Absolutely nothing will move these people. They're just actively working on it. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yeah.
No more yucca in Alabama.
Uh-huh.
What do you think about that? All the Cubans are going to be upset over there.
Yeah, okay. Okay, 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
In listening to all these conversations that you've been running through over the past couple of days concerning religion and everything, I go back to my background. I was raised in Upper New York State.
Yeah.
I've lived in Roanoke, Virginia, Charlotte, North Carolina, and now I'm down here.
Oi!
Yeah.
Anyway, in Upper New York State, I lived
Well, what do you mean by Upper New York State? What is Upper New York State?
Okay, Bainbridge.
Where the hell is that?
Okay, it's about 30, it's halfway between Oneonta and Binghamton, New York.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean upstate. Don't say Upper New York. Upstate New York.
Okay, upstate.
Don't say Upper New York.
Okay. Anyway, in that area, there's a guy that lived there named, anyway, he founded the Mormon Church.
Right.
And
Joseph Smith.
Joseph
in Palmyra,
Smith.
right.
And he originally
he found those
dug
tablets. He said, all you Mormons, take two and call me in the morning.
He originally
Say hi to
dug
Donnie
the
in the morning.
tablets near Afton, New York.
Yeah.
And he was, if you check up in Bainbridge, you'll find out what a real crook he was.
Mm.
While I lived in Roanoke, it was near Lynchburg, Virginia, and I got a full dose of Jerry Falwell.
Mm-hmm.
So
Why do you think Jerry located in a place called Lynchburg, by the way?
Well, of course. And he rules that town with an iron fist.
Uh-huh.
Living in Charlotte, North Carolina, I was just over the border from our buddies down there that wound up in jail. Jim Baker.
Mm-hmm.
And that was another thing that was a nightmare. And people don't realize how they are being used by these people. They don't have a clue when they send their money.
If the media would stop pumping these people up, if Larry King, for example, would stop bringing Falwell and these other assholes on there and kissing their ass, and like all during this Penisgate stuff, they kept bringing on Reverend Schuler and Jerry Falwell. What the hell do they have to do with any of this? Who the hell are they to be telling anybody in this country what the hell to do? Who is the Pope to be coming over here, sticking his face in Missouri and there and stopping an execution from taking place? This is the problem. Religion in this country is out of control, out of bounds, and spilled over to like a disease.
People, you're absolutely right. People do not have a clue as to what's happening, and they keep sending their money to the people and these guys, and they're using us every time we turn around. They're bilking us for billions every year, and it just continues to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to let you know that I'm,
I'll tell you one thing. Jan and Paul Crotch there on Trinity Broadcasting, they don't have to beg for calls.
Well,
all they got to do is put that number on the bottom of the screen, and their phones are ringing off the hook, and all of God's partners are sitting there answering those phones, taking all those pledges because God needs the money because there's a big sale at Penny's.
And they stand there, and actually, if you probably knew how much they were laughing at the people that are sending them money.
That's right. You got it.
And,
but the good news is Jim Baker's out. He's going to start all over again. I guarantee you. Before too much longer, Larry will have his ass on there. He'll be licking every pore on his cheeks.
You got it. And one of the reasons most of the people locate a lot of these religions and these organizations in Miami and in Florida is because the laws that we have controlling religion and controlling charities is very, very minute, if non-existent.
Yeah.
And that's why it goes on.
Well, God bless you, sir. And
well,
say hi to L. Ron Hubbub, too, while you're at it.
Yeah, well, okay.
Sure. Okay, 2 open lines in Dade, 5670560 and pound 560 on the Mobile One line. Dildos, the dildo police. You look at the map in Alabama, it ain't that far away. I hate to break the news to you. It's right up the road a piece. It'll be just coming downstream, right down through Georgia, through that Cohulawasi River, seeping right into the goddamn lake up there. It'll be in your drinking water before you know it. Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
I'm from Minnesota. I'm not Swedish. I don't think I'm a prude.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any experience?
But there are a lot of right-wing Swedes up there, aren't there?
Yeah. There are not a lot of right wings. It's traditionally a liberal area. Humphrey.
Sort of like Boston. Boston's traditionally liberal too, but there are a lot of prudes. See, there can be a place that allegedly is liberal and still be very prudish and hypocritical, like Boston.
Okay.
It is. Have you ever been to Boston?
Yeah, only a couple days.
Yeah. And you remember, you've heard the term banned in Boston.
Right.
Right. Well, Boston's supposed to be home of Harvard and all these pseudo-intellectuals and all these liberals, but Boston is a very repressive, goody-two-shoes place.
Okay. It's interesting.
They've been fighting the last 4 or 5 years. They've closed down everything there. The nudie bars. I mean, you can't even in your bedroom, you can't walk around naked in Boston, unless your name is Kennedy.
Yeah. What are you to do? Why? Just a question. Why don't you have George, screen your calls?
Meaning what?
You know, a lot of places just have them get some information before they.
Because we don't want to do that. We don't want contrived radio. We talk to everybody. I mean, maybe not too long. We talk to everybody. That's why it makes the show more interesting.
Thank you, Neil.
I'm going to tell you, sir, shows where they do that exhaustive screening, they are terminal. They are coma-inducing. And have a great day. Here's a guy from Minnesota telling us how to do the show, by the way. You better start screening those goddamn calls, George. Not. Yeah, we want to hear what's really out there. We're not going to sugarcoat it for you. There's a lot of assholes out there, okay? They got a right to call and show everybody they're an asshole. I'm going to tell you, if we start being selective with calls, then I'll really be sitting here talking to myself. Oh, yeah, we're going to be real selective now. We're only going to talk to really sharp people who really have something profound or interesting or amusing to say. Yeah, when's that call coming in? Let me know what day and I'll show up. Gee, I heard Hank yesterday talking about that one guy I had the beginning of the show on Monday, and he's right about that guy, that jackass, that Falwell liquor. I couldn't have bought him for $10 million. But maybe once every 2 years you get a call like that. Hey, let's hear all your greatest calls. Okay, here's the bridge tender, and now what? Well, we're working on the next one. We'll get that other guy I was just talking about. We'll get that one for you. But how about the rest? Well, they haven't come in yet. 2 open lines in Dade, 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Great.
Neil, I can't believe. Are you serious about that dildo thing?
Yes.
Oh,
sir,
my
it's on
God.
page 6A in the Sun Sentinel. This is not a joke. It's on page 6A. It says, women block ban on sale of sex toys.
Oh, my God.
Yes. I read it right from the Herald, so you know it must be possibly true.
We have to get out of here. We have to leave this country.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Neil, another thing. There's a pig alert on Coral Way.
Yeah.
They're using one of those anti-graffiti trucks and all that, and I already got pulled over by one.
What do you mean anti-graffiti trucks? You mean the bumper sticker police?
No, the ones that paint the buildings that has graffitis and all that stuff. They're using that as a way of pulling people over.
Mm-hmm.
And in closing, to that officer that pulled me over, Officer O'Grady, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Cuando me tocan el pene, yo digo que rico, maricón.
Oh! All right. Exactly. And we second that emotion. Maricón. Come on, say it with some enthusiasm, sir. Say it with feeling, with passion. Maricón. Where the hell are the women today? Oh, they must be all out stocking up on those devices now, and they're going to hide them away. That's right. All you ladies out there, you better go see Patty Sexy Things in all your favorite neighborhood joints. Because when they come knocking on your door a few months from now to try to take those things away, just have them hidden and get a goddamn vault, get a safe. 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Listen, the dildo police already raided the shop in Coconut Grove.
They
did? The one, the Pink Pussycat?
Oh, yeah, that's long. They've been doing that for years.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Christians were buying everything up. So, anyhow, listen, I got to disagree with you about the circle. I think the circle, 2,000-year-old artifact, pretty interesting. Where's all the museums in Miami? Every major metropolitan center has museums.
Because this is a cultural wasteland. Well, we're going to have a circle?
Well, I think it's pretty...
I mean, like the Miami Symphony Orchestra. Anybody heard of that?
No.
Yeah,
the Miami Museum of Natural Science and History?
No.
Of course not. This is a wasteland. This is a palm tree-laden alligator, there's no history here.
Well, just a thought. I thought it was pretty interesting, educational tool, better than Magic Johnson's Margaritaville.
Yeah, but in other words, the taxpayers, but again, Alex Penis has decided, him along with his commissioners, that the taxpayers are going to pay off this developer. I mean, the money isn't going to come out of the sky. They're going to pay off this developer to pay him back for the land or whatever be over and above that the court decides they got to pay for it so they can preserve a few old teeth.
Well, I think it's pretty interesting.
They should take a page from the people in Sunrise. You want to preserve old teeth? Stick them in a glass.
There you go. All right.
Call up Martha Ray. She knows how to do it.
Sorry to disagree.
Okay, have a great day. He likes the circle. Okay, he likes the circle. Maybe we all just ought to build a Circle K right there, make everybody happy. 5670560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. And what about those Slim Jims you were eating before, by the way? Those will be illegal in, those ought to be illegal here. George was saying that when you buy stuff at the drugstore, like Walgreens, that tends to be a little fresher than when you go into some of the convenience stores. Anybody ever go into a convenience store, buy a candy bar, open it up? It wasn't white chocolate. It was like milk chocolate, but it was white because it was 100 years old. Anybody ever do that?
Yes.
Anybody ever go in and get like a Ben & Jerry's fish stick, and you open it up, and it comes to find out you're like 10 blocks up the street already, and you find out that it had melted and refrozen and melted and refrozen, and it was older than Methuselah and those teeth in that circle?
Yes.
Yeah. So even they call it convenient. They didn't say it's good, but it's convenient. So there you go.
So the law would be against it.
I am guilty. What the hell? I got angry. I killed Nicole.
Here I am on the stand. I will tell it all about a man who no longer can be playing pro football. Everywhere people stare, each and every day.
You turd.
They see me on TV, and I hear them say, hey, you didn't hide that glove, O.J.
Oh!
Hey, you didn't hide that glove, O.J. Testify, I won't lie, like Cato Kalin. His defense makes no sense, led by Johnny Cochran. Now I see the jury look at DNA. Gather round all the brown. Let me hear them say, hey, you didn't hide that glove, O.J.
Oi!
Hey, you didn't hide that glove, O.J.
So what was in that pipe, by the way? Was that
I wanted to start around what Nicole was thinking at the end.
12:33 at 560 WQAM? Okay, we got some open lines in Dade. We haven't heard from Brendan Barmer's friends, his schoolmates from Palmetto High yet. What's the reason for that? What kind of people go to Palmetto High? Where is it? You know? I mean, it's in Miami, but you don't know? You don't know where Palmetto Senior High is? What is wrong with you? You lived in Dade County for a long time.
For a brief moment.
And so did I, but a long time ago. Huh? Maybe our crowd just doesn't hang out in that neck of the woods. I mean, we had people that went to school with Rocky Echevarria.
And Andy Garcia.
And with Scumbag Stallone and all these other geniuses from local town. Nobody knows from Brendan. Damn it. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir. By the way, there was a guy that bought that OJ stuff, the T-shirts, and burned them, which was on TV last night and this morning. Congratulations to him with that auction they're doing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There's nothing more.
Can't hear this guy at all.
Hello. Yeah, there's nothing more disgusting than faggots talking about dildos.
Yeah. Oh, okay, thanks. Well, thanks for your input. We have an open line in Broward and all three in Dade. 5670560 and pound 560 on the mobile one line. He must have a rectum on his mind. Here's a mobile in Margate. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, boss?
Okay.
I got a pig report for you.
Yeah.
It's on Andrews between Prospect and Oakland Park.
Andrews between Prostate and Oakland Park.
Yeah, they got their radar guns out and they're shooting them and the radar too.
God bless you, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, Neil. Talk to you later.
And don't forget to blink those lights, by the way. They get upset about that. Too bad. It's America. It's your right. It's your First Amendment right. You want to make an expression? You want to communicate and say, have a nice day to your other fellow travelers out there? Oh, don't say fellow travelers. To your other fellow drivers out there? Then blink those lights and warn them. By the way, I thank profusely again. It happened just the other day out here on Ives Dairy Road. Somebody blinked me, and there was Porky sitting on the side of the road. Although, you know something? I applaud the porkers who sit out here on it's a residential street. Speed limit is 30 miles an hour in Ives Dairy between 441 and the stadium. And I'm going to tell you something. The driving behavior of the people who drive in that neck of the woods is unfreaking acceptable. It is
unbelievable
and unacceptable. So I applaud those porkers out there. You ought to be doing more of it, okay? I mind my P's and Q's driving up there and back every day because I know that, number one, I'm going to get a goddamn ticket if I don't, and number two, it's a residential area where it makes sense to have low. You know, there's all kinds of little kids running around. It's houses right on the street almost, and there's people whipping through there 60 and 70 and 80 miles an hour, like there's somewhere they got to go in a hurry in this place. Here's a mobile in Palm Beach. Hello.
Newbone.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you know, these people with the circle jerk down there in southern Miami?
Yeah, man.
Do they even look at the possibility that that might be a foundation from when the Brickles were down there putting up lighthouses and such?
No.
Or are they just so infatuated? You get these new age people from California.
Maybe it was the Brickles teeth.
Yes.
That might have been it.
You know, these new age people are shaking around like an Alabama dildo.
Right.
They're down there with the Indian shaman. And, you know, I hate to say it, but there was a Seminole that felt, you know, the presence or the energy there. Well, these were Arawak Indians that, you know, inhabited these little areas. Come up from the Caribbean, had nothing to do with Seminole Indians. Arawak, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, these goofballs are just down there shaking. And, you know, I think it probably is a bigger, should be a triangle, I guess.
In fact, if you checked it out on news last night on Channel 4, it was purple. I don't know if Brian Norcross made something to look that way, but it looked purple to me, didn't it?
Yes.
Open line at Broward, 560. I mean, to me, the whole thing is much ado about nothing. Front page of the newspaper, big song and a dance. We found some old teeth. We want old teeth, man. This is the perfect time. There's no place in the world that's got more old teeth in it than this one. And I'm talking about people that are still alive. And yes, many of them are in the glass, but nevertheless, they're old teeth. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello. Okay, it's nice talking to you. Probably another circle asshole. Here's Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Satan. Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
Me cago en la reconciliar, madre
speak in English, okay? Speak in English. That's okay. Another one of your people. Open line at Day 2 in Broward, 567-0560, pound 560. They must be on a jungle juice today, you know what? They must be doing it. They must be sucking it, and the juice, too. Here's a mobile in Kendall. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, long-time listener, first-time caller.
All right.
Got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
In hockey, I know you don't like to talk too much sports, but what's a 5-hole in hockey?
What's a 5-hole in anything? It means between the legs.
Yeah, but
between
why is it called a 5-hole?
Well, maybe we ought to call it an asshole. How's that? How does that sound? You like that better?
Uh-huh.
Well, what difference does it make what they call it? What the hell difference does it make? When a team has a man advantage, they call it a power play. Why do they call it a power play? Ask them. I don't know. What the hell do I know? When they shoot it down the ice, they call it icing. They could call it frosting. They could call it a million other things, okay? Oh, gee, it's frosting. You know, why do they call you things?
He's an asshole.
Exactly. Why do they call you that? I think we already have the answer after that call, but thank you, sir. Brilliant. There's another great sports call here on 560 QAM. Yeah. Sports radio. Just ask Greg Reed. He'll tell you. It's sweeping the country, man, with a big, gigantic broom. We're making all the money for him here midday. We got all the numbers here, but, yeah, it's the sports shows. That's where it's at, right?
No.
What the cast of Baywatch does before shooting a scene.
Hey guys, what do you think about my breasts? You think, they look okay? What up? You think my nipples need to be harder?
Yeah, maybe a little ice in the nipples or something.
Yeah, maybe just a little.
What do you think about my bulge? Do you think my bulge is okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, forget about your bulge. What do you think about my ass? How's my ass?
Oh, your ass looks nice.
Oh,
yeah, all right, it's going to be great for a scene, yeah. Right. And and your nipples are erecting now. Those look great.
Yeah, the ice is perfect.
Are we supposed to do it? I forgot my line.
We got to talk?
I think so.
No.
Not too big. 1244 560 WQAM. That's our poll question today. Who's got a better body, Kelly Slater or Brendan Barmer, whatever his name is? You know Kelly Slater, the surfer from Cocoa Beach? He's doing what's her name, Pamela Lee with the big phony boobs. He said they're okay. Like people really care whether they're real or not. What are you giving me that like?
She's skanky.
I'm not saying a word, okay? Because I've heard you talk about certain women, and what can I tell you?
She's gross.
Pamela Lee is
She
gross.
looks like she smells.
She looks like she smells. She smells like she looks. Like Josh Friedman. He smells like he looks like crap. Here's Boca. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Excellent. How's Chris doing out there at the van, by the way? No reports yet. Yes, sir. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hey, we were in Walgreens last night.
Yeah.
In Boca, and I want to tell you, those people will make you crazy. We were getting a prescription for my dad, and he's real sick, and it must have took us an hour for one prescription. I remember.
Yeah, they just can't get it together.
What's the deal? We're going to die here.
I may actually have to start going to Eckerd's, which is worse than death.
Yeah, they're a little bad. They got Rite Aid down here. I'm from up north. They're pretty bad, too.
I don't know. I don't think I know, I don't know. We'll have to find out.
We've been to a lot of...
I've seen those, but...
we've been
and whatever happened to Rexall? Remember Rexall?
Yeah, we've been to a lot of places, and up north they do a lot better.
Yeah, well, this is... You got to understand here, man. They're decrepit. They just got off the banana boat.
Hey, we're getting ready to go out on the racetrack. What's happening out there?
What, Gulfstream?
No, Pompano.
Oh, Pompano?
Yeah, like on weeknights. What's a good time to go? What's a good night?
Well, I got simulcasting. Tonight's a good night, Thursday night. Okay. Go up there in the dining room on the 6th floor, get you a nice meal, 2 for $24 dinners.
Okay.
You got simulcasting, get you a little TV there on your table. You bet Northville from Detroit, and you bet all over the place.
Yeah, a buddy of mine used to ride out there. I think I've heard you mention him, too, Brad Kramer.
And, oh, yeah, Brad's doing great. We love Brad Kramer. Bet on him all the time.
Yeah, he's from Michigan. That's where we're from, and we like to go out and see him. You think Thursday night he'll be riding?
And, yeah, he will be riding tonight. Tonight would be an excellent night. In fact, we used to, ordinarily we go on Thursday nights because we like betting Northville, and Brad Kramer is my favorite driver. He got good taste, sir. He's a great driver.
Excellent. Okay, we're going to win some money.
Plunge your brains out.
Thanks, Neil.
Okay.
See ya.
There you go. Brad, isn't that amazing? Brad Kramer's a buddy of his. Just like I met a guy at the hockey game telling me about Ray McLean Jr. there in London, Ontario. And where else does he drive? Well, you don't want to know about harness racing, do you?
No.
Oh, my God. If you think they know nothing about hockey. Harness racing, what's that? Why do they call it a harness, by the way? And what's that thing in the back of the horse? Is that a 5-hole? You know, the thing right by his rectum. Brad Kramer and Ray McLean Jr. Now you're talking. That's what we need, some new blood down here at Pompano Park, okay? I mean, no, you know, with all due apologies to my good buddies Kevin Wallace and Bruce Ranger and Wally Hennessy, we'd like to see somebody else win a race like every 5th or 6th race, just for variety, okay? Just kind of break up the old, well, you know what I'm saying. Open line in Dade 1 in Broward, 5670560 and pound 560 on the Mobile 1 line. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I went to Miami Palmetto High School. What year did this guy go there?
Well, he's 20 years old, so I guess he would have graduated a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think so, 1980.
Brendan Barmer.
Never heard of him. I graduated in 1980.
Well, yeah, well, you're an old fart like me, and not as old as I am, but you're too old for this guy.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He was a swimmer and water polo star at Palmetto High.
Yeah, we had a very good swim team and a polo team.
Now, where is Palmetto High, by the way?
South Miami, 77th Avenue and like about 120th Street.
Huh. Well, I never knew that. You learn something every day.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to keep pushing away. We'll find somebody that showered with this guy before the day's out. Have a great day, pal. Brendan Barmer, he's right there in the Miami Herald this morning on the front page of the sports section in the bottom right-hand corner. Women, how come we never had no woman call in today that's seen that picture? You see, you women, you're so stuffy. You're no fun. No wonder they want to take away your instruments, okay? You're no fun. You're boring. I mean, we had one queen that called in today, one maricon that called in and said that he would like do this guy in a heartbeat, and who the hell wouldn't, of his persuasion. I mean, that wasn't my point. Well, it was my point. The point is he looks pretty damn good. But how come the women aren't calling in saying, Jesus, you want to know why? Because the women are busy looking for Mike Ricci out there on the ice. You women have got the crappiest taste. You talk about George with the Pamela Lee comment. What's wrong with the women in this town? It's bad eyes, bad eyes. Get some glasses, get some contacts. Go get that slice job done. And the eyes, too. Man.
The van is gone, by the way.
Why? He's
ran out of stuff, had a big rush.
How come he's got all kinds of, because he's giving away free stuff. Am I dumb?
Yes.
Am I really, really, really dumb?
Yes.
Am I slow?
Yes.
Am I losing it?
Yes.
He's giving away free stuff. He's got the runs out there. We got the runs because I'm pushing for calls all week long here this week. Right now we got a few, but they won't be there long. You know, we had the penis gate thing. Even though nobody talked about that on the show, all those 13 months, it was always like hovering there behind us, like it was something to talk about, but we really didn't very much till it was over there the last day. Then that thing kind of like cleared the air a little bit till they can bring it back now. And now it's like, okay, what do we do now? Anybody know?
No.
Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Is there any doubt that Alex Pinhead Ellis is just the consummate politician?
No.
Did you see his important news conference?
Yeah, I was talking about that before on Channel 4, how they botched it up, and that guy with the big head from New York kept, Ken Rosato, whatever his name is, kept talking with his mic off. It was a disaster.
It was just so typical. I mean,
grandstand play again, standing right there by the circle with Merritt Steerheim and Ruth Shack and all these other long-time community destroyers behind them.
So this guy's going to make a career out of, appearing to be against the mainstream, just like with the arena.
Yeah.
He came out, that was his running platform. He came out against the arena, and then he got into office, and they said, well...
all of a sudden, Mickey made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
And now with this thing with the circle, they had all the microphones out there, and Tony Cigaretto's like breathless. We got a major announcement.
What a simpleton he is, Tony Cigaretto. What a jackass. What a silly, simpering, slobbering idiot he is. A silly person. It's okay to have a silly guy doing sports, but this business of making sports guys into news guys, which happens in this town all the time, I mean, is it ever going to stop?
No.
No, probably not, Neil.
Maybe
we just got to get out of here.
Okay, have a great day, pal.
All right, you too.
Good luck to us. Tony Cigaretto. Oh, he's all excited because he's been here all his life, and he's a Hurricane alumnus, whatever it is. See, that should speak for itself. See, most people who are smart that graduated U of M, they won't admit it. They'll say they went to, Harvard or somewhere. They're not going to tell you they went to UM. Is there anybody with a brain that will tell you they went there?
No.
Of course not. They'll lie about it. Oh, we went to Vanderbilt. Anywhere. I mean, that's in Tennessee, but at least it's not a bad school because most of the kids are from out of the state. 5670560, pound 560, rhymes with Shixie on the mobile one line. Here's a lady in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a long-time listener to you. I've never called before, though.
Great.
But I just want to say one thing, that so many people call your show and have such negative things to say about you and the format of your show and the things that you talk about. If they don't like it, why don't they just turn the station or turn off the damn radio?
They have no life.
That's right.
This is their life. This show is their lifeline. No, seriously, this is their only connection between the big brown box and life.
Yeah, well, another thing I want to say about as far as pharmacies go, they've got all these pharmacy technicians, manning the front lines. These people, I don't know I don't think they have any education, and I mean, they have no business telling you how to take your medication. Pharmacists are too busy to handle the influx of people, so they have these technicians. They're losers. They're $5 an hour losers.
You know what it reminds me of? It's like, I'm sure you've been in restaurants. In fact, restaurants that used to be really good where you get good service, and then when you give a little slow spell, what they start doing is they start cutting back, and they have one waiter or waitress taking care of far more tables than they can handle.
Right. I've been in the service business for many years. I'm a bartender.
As soon as you see that happen, you know that place is on the way out.
Absolutely. I've been a bartender / waitress for many years, and I've seen it all happen.
Because how can you possibly give twice as many people good service that you can really wait on?
You can't. It's impossible.
Right. And that's the same thing they do in these pharmacies, in these drugstores. They got 4 or 5 people running around back there. They got 20 people lined up inside. They got a half a dozen cars lined up at the drive-thru outside, and the same people are supposed to be taking care of all of them, and the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing, and all these sheets of paper and all these bags laying around all over the place.
It's impossible. It's a wonder that people don't start dying from that.
Well, they probably are. We just don't know about it.
They're not reporting it yet.
Right.
But I'd also like to say it's a good thing my girlfriend and I don't live in Alabama. We'd be in big trouble.
Exactly. You better watch it. Better keep that door locked real tight.
Thanks again.
Have a great day. Okay, we have an open line in Day 1 in Broward. 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Oh, she said her girlfriend and her. See, because when she first called, I thought she was going to talk about Brad, whatever his name is. Brendan. Now I know why she didn't. But that's okay, sweetheart. You do your thing, and her thing, too. Here's Stuart. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hi, how you doing?
Great.
Hey, a couple things. Last Sunday morning, I was nursing a hangover, just sort of channel surfing, and between watching religion and wrestling, my two favorite things to watch.
Oh, yeah, same difference.
Exactly. I came across this infomercial, and it was this doctor talking about hair transplants. It panned out. I thought I recognized the voice of the person he was talking to. It was Steve K.
Yeah, Mr. Eagle, I've seen that thing.
Oh, had you?
Crap, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. He's got a transplant for your penis, for your hair, for your finger, for your every body part. He's got some quack goofball on there peddling some garbage.
Yeah, I think he's trying to look like he's 20 again or something, but he'll never get there. I don't think. The other thing,
I think he's trying to get his audience up to 20 is what he's trying to do.
I used to listen to him and Al Rantel back when they were at 790. Yeah. Were you ever? You weren't there then. This was like in '84, '85.
No, I left there in about '83. I got out just in time, just before it was sold, before the thing went in the
Well, where'd you go right after that then?
INZ.
Oh, see, that I couldn't get that stick. Well, maybe I could. Anyway.
I was on an INZ for like 5 years. Then I was on Zeta in the morning for a year, and I was on IOD for 9 years. And I'm over here, and I'm all
we're up in Martin County. And we
well,
we can't always get those signals, But
not at night.
Hey, one other thing.
Seriously, and even in Broward County, you can't get INZ at night.
Well, I like you call him Alice, but I liked Al Rantel. I didn't know he was gay at the time until you sort of said he was.
So I was. I never said he was gay. I just said he liked purple or something.
But I always liked him. I thought he was
well, even though he was a fag. Okay, well, listen, have a great time. Too late. You're hocking and shining about people that nobody cares about. All these old, I'm telling you, nobody cares about Steve Kane, about Alice Rantel. There are more people that care about her, okay? And I hate to break the news to you, there ain't nobody cares about her. Even Ponytail says he takes the free plugs they get from that station and from her show, but wouldn't spend a dime advertising because nobody ever called. See, I don't understand that. He likes the free plugs, so he brings them food, and they talk about him on the air, but nobody ever comes in from there. So what's the point? Why is he wasting? I mean, the food isn't for free. It's costing him money to make the food. No wonder he acts so whacked out all the time, if you catch my drift. 1256 at 560 WQAM. Oh, and he's going to be, if they ever do that thing with the vibrators down here, woo! Jeff Cohen, there'll be riots over there at the Pizza Lot. He'll have a nervous break. He'll be out there protesting and waving it in the street. Speaking of something you can wave. Oh, and here's another item. Geez, after all the Monica stuff, how could I forget about this? I bet you there'll be no more cigars in Alabama. That's right. Never thought about that. Because you know about Bill's cigar in that place.
It's not just the 1 to 2 hour. It's a phenomenon.
The following is a paid public service announcement from the International Rifle Association.
Let's face it, most of us will never be rich. Hell, we probably won't even be successful, and that's pretty damn depressing. But, as usual, with every problem, there is a solution. Hi, I'm Jim, and I'm here to tell you a little something about handguns. They scare the shit out of people and intimidate them into giving you whatever you want. That's right, handguns. Think about it. Need some cash? Rob a bank. Don't have enough money for beer? Pull up a convenience store. Take some chips and pretzels while you're at it. It's all free if you've got a handgun. Some son of a bitch cheating on your girlfriend? Kill him. It's a simple solution to life's complex problems. All you have to do is wait the 5 days for it, and happiness is just around the corner. Hell, if you don't want to wait the 5 days, who cares? Buy the damn thing off the street. Just buy a lot of handguns. It's a great alternative to working problems out and can be considered a population control. Yes, handguns. They just might make you famous.
It's a minute after 1 at 560. WQAM Hank Goldberg Show at 2 o'clock. Bookster 6 to 7:30. Pregame at 7:30. Blues and the Panthers 8 o'clock tonight. And I'm just wondering, do you think Brendan Farmer knows Fanny Farmer? We have an open line at Broward, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT. Well, at least we found out where Palmetto Senior High is today. That's something. We're moving up in the world. And one of the reasons we probably didn't see any of the stories about the Calvin Klein stuff is because they're not in either one of our local garbage papers. Maybe there's a story in USA Today. We're going to have to start getting USA Today. Can we get that delivered here, maybe, you think? I'll pay for it. Huh? They do deliver. Of course, we'd have to make sure that we get it and somebody else doesn't abscond with it every day because there's a lot of people in this building who like all those colorful photos. Here's Dania. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how's it going?
Great.
Yeah, I've been meaning to call you. Monday I was at the Panthers game against the Sharks.
Yeah.
At least it was 2-2. Unfortunately.
Crappy game. Very, very weak game. Weak.
But we certainly need Bure back in the lineup.
Right, Bure.
Bure, I mean. Mm-hmm. There we go. Sorry
but you know something? It's a very sad comment. I mean, I know he's the most exciting player in the world, which he is. Not the best player, but the most exciting. And he's heads and shoulders above most of our guys. But it's a very sad comment that when you got one guy out of your lineup that it can make such a tremendous difference. Although I guess you could say the same thing. The Dolphins without Marino aren't nearly the same either. That's how important he is to have him healthy.
Oh, no doubt. He's like the franchise.
Right.
I mean, to say the least.
I mean, that performance last night, I kept saying, they must have missed a plane. They didn't show up here. Only Sean Burke made the trip. Everybody else missed the plane.
Right. Oh, no, Burke made some amazing
He was
mistakes.
Unbelievable. He was great.
Truly.
Thank God for him.
But I was going to ask you, you were talking about this guy who was the comedian host. I think it was Monday night at the game. I believe that was the first time the Panthers ever had that.
The first time they ever had what?
Oh, well, no, they had this comedian host, this guy
named
Howie.
The guy with the tuxedo. Oh, my God. Oh, they hate him like poison. They want him out of there now.
You got to be kidding.
No.
No, I'll be honest with you. I mean, of course, I'm there for the game. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean,
the guy who did the scores of the out-of-town games, that Diaz guy, he was good. He was good. That was some good information. But this other guy, give us a rest. Just shut the noise down for a while between periods. Let our eardrums resettle.
Well, actually,
this guy was a goofball. He sounded like Geldy. He did.
No, but Neil, he was at my section. I mean, he was pretty funny. The guys around
awful.
me.
Just terrible.
You're kidding.
Tell him, in fact, if he hangs out in your section Saturday, tell him everybody wants you out of here. Tell him, get out while we're getting this good. I'm serious. I've been at almost every game, at least when I'm in town, I'm at every game.
Oh, yeah?
And I had more people coming up to me between periods saying, this guy's got to go. You got to rip him an ass. We hate it. I'm serious. You better tell him to find a job he can handle.
Oh,
like maybe with
God.
a circus would be good.
No, actually, no. I mean, I've seen the guy before. I mean, he does stand-up comedy.
Oh my! He ought to fall down comedy, like right out of the balcony, right out of the mezzanine.
Oh man!
Tell him to get out of there, pal. Thank you so much. Okay, there's the guy that's going to get the job done for us.
Oh!
He's going to get rid of that goofball. Oh, did they hate him? Did they hate him?
Yeah.
Like poison. He's a jerk, they kept saying. They were screaming. They were more animated about him than they were about the game, and it was a pretty boring game, so I can understand why. Except for my boy Ray Whitney. Nice going there, Ray.
Oh!
We have an open line at Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. You see that with 5 seconds left in the game last night? Whitney gets a breakaway, goes in there, and only a great save by Roman Turek, whatever his name is. Roman in the Gloman. Oh, seriously, that was a great chance there. Amazing that even with a few seconds left, they had a chance to get back into that game as poorly as they didn't show up. Thanks again to Sean Burke. Nice going, Sean. Keeping the guys in the game. Here's Miami. Hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
You know, with all these stupid laws that are out there and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's so many. Just what we need is more stupid laws.
Why don't they make a law against tourists driving on the MacArthur Causeway, taking photos of actors' homes and all that on those islands? I'm sick of driving behind one of them at 10, 15 miles per hour and having them all around me.
Just open up the window and tell them to get a life would be good. I mean, who the hell cares about taking pictures of somebody's house?
They should all be shot.
There you go. Well, go work on it. Okay, we have an open line at Dade 1 in Broward. Shoot him in the leg. 5670560. Is that in here, by the way? Oh, my God.
Shoot them in the leg.
Oh, I haven't used that the whole 13 and a half months we've been here, or however many months it is, too long. 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Anybody know Brad Kramer? Anybody know Raymond Clay Jr. there at Western Fair in London, Ontario, huh? Anybody know those guys?
No.
Anybody know a horse's ass from their...
rectum?
Here's Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Esau Easton. Hey, listen. I called you yesterday. I was going on my honeymoon in Italy.
Yeah.
Forget about the restaurants. Have you ever been to Pompeii?
No.
You haven't been to Pompeii?
No, I've not.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Okay, well, listen. Micronary blows and Toshikaki sucks, okay?
They're not going to let him in Italy. Passport control. They'll say, no. That's right. No, that's what they'll say. And, of course, in just about any language, you can understand what that means. You can't come in. We hear you knocking, but you can't come in. Open line in Broward, 2 in Dade, 5670560, pound 560 on the... Why would I want to go to Pompeii? If I want to see ancient ruins, I go right up here to the street to see the Circle. What's wrong with you, man? I go up the street to Circle K. Now, is there a comma in that? Circle K? Or is that Quay? As in Tequesta, Tequesta. If we got a city called Tequesta, how can it be Tequesta? You can't keep changing back and forth and back and forth.
Celtic.
That's like spelling K-Q-U-E or C-H-E, which is the difference between Espanol and Italiano. Of course, Italian, that's like a real language that those barbarians stole. Here's a lady in Sunrise. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller,
Great.
and I was homesick today, and I read the Sun Sentinel article about the ban on the sex toys.
Right.
Needless to say, I was outraged, and I think that there are lots of worthy drives for all of the people who've been affected by these hurricanes in Central America, but I really think the key is to do a dildo drive for all the ladies in Alabama, and I'll start by donating mine too.
All right. That's an excellent idea. I think we're going to work on that.
Yes.
Excellent idea.
And I'll start by donating mine too, and I think if we can get more women calling in, I'm sure you'd get a whole box.
Are they worn out?
Nuh-uh.
I don't say a whole box.
I can say, you know what, I can go down and I can get, some at the store, in Sunrise, but they can't get it in Alabama.
In Huntsville.
Yeah. Well,
okay, thanks, sweetheart. Keep it handy. We'll be working on it. Excellent idea. Let's start a dildo drive. Now, Huntsville, you know what that rhymes with, don't you? Well, we have an open line in Broward, 2 and Dade, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T line. See, it's amazing to me, the repressed mentality of these people. There are women in this audience who, well, that's right, they don't read the sports section. Well, you better take a look at it, okay? And all you fags, too. I mean, we got a superstar in this town. We've got a major, major superstar right here in Miami. And they don't even know who the hell it is. They're busy taking, pictures of that Madonna. Talk about somebody that smells bad. I mean, talk about somebody that's old, ancient, rotten meat. There you go. And it's scumbag Sly Stallone. Thank God we're getting rid of him. Yo, Adrian. I mean, a guy that couldn't act his way out of a paper sack if you gave him $30 million a movie. If you gave him $2 billion, he still couldn't act for like 2 seconds. He's another mind fork. Another one of those things. Like Larry King. So many state of mind things that are supposed to be good, but it's just a goddamn state of mind.
All of these things.
That's right. We ought to make a gigantic list. All of the hype places, all of the restaurants, all of the actors and actresses and TV talking heads that everybody raves, like Bob Wawa, can't speak 2 words, cannot speak at a lick. And by the way, she's from here, which we're very embarrassed about.
Anybody have a heart or a liver?
No.
Well, since the word came down, I've been home crying in my bed. I turn off the TV because they say the NBA is dead. Well, Rodman, you love to whine. Why don't you practice at the free throw line? Then you could help us, Rodman, help us get along without mine. Help us, Rodman, help us, Rodman. Help us, Rodman, help us, Rodman. Help us, Rodman, yeah, it's so hard without mine. Now you got a pretty wife, gets the penny home and be a man. Wash away the purple dye, get a haircut and don't spin on the fan. Well, Rodman, you jump so high, and you can triple double if you try. You gotta help us, Rodman, help us get along without mine. Help us, Rodman, help us, Rodman. Help us, Rodman, help us, Rodman. Help the NBA get along without mine.
But can he double, triple?
No.
Can he, yeah. Oh, my God, it's so sad. 115 at 560 WQAM. Here's a fax, by the way, from some real queen out there, I'm sure. It says, I love Brendan. I'm on my knees with my mouth open with 82 exclamation points. Oh! There you go. See, we're starting to make a little progress here. Got one honest person in the audience there, and the rest of them are full of crap. We have an open line in Dade 1 in Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Okay, sir.
A couple of things I want to bring to your attention. One, I'm not sure if you knew it, but with that O.J. Simpson purchase of that memorabilia that was burned at the L.A. County Courthouse yesterday, the religious right station that sponsored it got a hold of O.J. Simpson, and they started, trying to give him some jabs about what they were doing. And it was kind of ironic that O.J. pointed out that the $16,000 that they had spent from God's money could have been put to helping feed clothesless and homeless people or AIDS research, at which point the guy uttered a profanity and hung up. It was a pretty Christian thing to do.
I killed Nicole.
Yeah.
I found that kind of ironic.
Wait a minute, he was giving them a lecture?
Yeah, he called up O.J. to kind of, jibe him about the fact that
and he was giving them a lecture?
And O.J. turned around and said, that's great. That was
but how about the money for that machete? How he could have used that for some good purposes too, huh? And the funerals? And all those books? God, how come a China guy, O.J.'s giving them a lecture? We have an open, so you better get your ass in order, okay? I mean real fast. Open line in Broward, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Hey, Noah, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Did you and Hank work with Mr. Larry King years ago?
Hank did. I never worked with him.
Oh, you didn't?
I was on his radio show a couple of times on IOD.
Oh, you were?
And, of course, he ran around claiming credit for getting me on the air in this market when it was really Bill Calder that did it. But, as usual, Larry's full of crap.
He gets a lot of credit for things he don't do.
Right.
Yeah.
And he makes a lot of promises about getting people jobs that he never does. He's just a bullcrap artist, that's all. He's bullcrapped himself to $5 million a year and is famous all over the world, and he's still a piece of crap.
Right. No, and the interview he did with that bitch last night, he never let too many people take a shot at her calling her.
I guess you tuned in late. You didn't hear the story from the New York Post?
I did heard a little bit about it. Yes, I did.
Sliced him an ass. In fact, the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life is the picture with a caption. It's got King's picture there, and underneath it says, King pathetic. All I can say is, oh! Pathetic. You won't read that down here, though. They're still licking his ass down here, even though he left town leaving all those people that money and never paid it back, by the way. Made about 20 or 30 different promises. Oh, he's going to pay it back. He's thinking about paying it back. Of course, a lot of those people are dead already. Did he ever pay back a dime?
No.
No. He's only making $5 million a year. Poor Larry. Still running around going.
Only $50.
Open line in day 2 in Broward. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
Yeah, Neil, you know what really makes me laugh?
What is that, sir?
You know, you're always talking about how Europeans must view this country.
Yes.
Imagine how they must view it now in a country where you can buy a gun at 7-Eleven. You can buy a dildo in Alabama.
Right. Excellent point.
I mean, isn't that incredible?
Oh, you know something? When they find out what some women are doing with those guns.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe the drug
No
sales will go
mas,
up
that's
even
right.
more. Yeah, you know, a few frustrated women. It will be a little harder to live with that method now.
Right.
All right. I just wanted to make that quick point.
God bless you, sir. Okay. Well, we're sure coming to a bitter end. We've been rolling along here for about, 2-3 minutes? And now all of a sudden coming to a real bitter end. 41 minutes to go here on a Thursday. Is there any chance in hell that we're going to actually stick this thing out till 2?
No.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Probably all the Julios out there, they got their Herald Sports section in their hand. Can't tell you what they got in their other hand, but I think I got an idea. Maricon. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Maricon!
Now, there's a guy that had some material, right? See what I mean about that? Monkey see, monkey do. I got nothing to say. I got no material. We got 2 calls on the board. Bad. It'd be real bad. 567-0560. Come on, let's hear about Roger Clemens and that big tub David Wells. Come on. They're fat. They smell better than Josh Friedman. We're not positive of that, but just common sense would dictate that they do. I don't understand. If somebody was, all the people that I worked with were running around publicly saying, how bad I smell, don't you think I would do something about it? I mean,
yes.
even a yearly bath, just, there's got to be an embarrassment factor, doesn't there?
Yes.
You would think. Rhymes with stink, but evidently not in this case. By the way, how's
Roy
doing? Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes.
How are you today?
Okay.
I went to Duquesne University.
Kind of a rocky. You went to what?
Duquesne University in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And
that's 100 years ago.
No, that was in 1981, 82.
Yeah.
Come on, And let me tell you something. We all look like kielbasa eaters, This guy looks like a normal person. He looks like he's from Florida.
Looks like a normal person?
I mean, not a normal person.
He looks like a damn good-looking guy to me with a body that even Jesus would kill for.
Yeah, but listen, I want to tell you something. There's
hearing.
3 words in Puerto Rican Spanish for maricón, okay? Okay, you got maricón, which is the harshest one, okay?
Maricón.
Maricón, mira maricón. Then there's afeminado. No, pero afeminado. Afeminado is like feminine.
Switch, yeah.
Pero es una afeminada. And then there's my favorite, farifo. Farifo means you're a hell of a fag. So if somebody messes with you, you tell them, mira, no sea farifo.
How about pajarito?
Farito, no, that's Cuban. It's better like this. A farifo, maricón.
Oh, so in other words, the other ones are real
farifo.
Spanish and pajarito is Cuban.
Farito, but farifo is the best one.
Okay.
I love farifo.
Grazie,
Have a good one.
Grazie mille. Okay, we have an open line in day 1 in Broward. 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Maybe somebody will tell us what Pompino means in Italiano. I think Monica knows. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Another Julio.
All right.
Yeah.
Maricón.
Maricón eres tú. You're bigger maricón than the rest of us Julios.
Well, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, well,
we'll have a maricón off.
A maricón fair down here in Little Havana. We're gonna give each faggot. We're gonna give him a shotgun right up the butt.
Yeah. Well, they might enjoy it.
So that everybody have a good time.
Yeah. Well, say hi to all your relatives for us. We have an open line in date 567. See what I'm saying? It's an obsession. It's like thank God that we're here. If it weren't for all us like real maricones, what the hell would these closet people do? Tremendously frustrated and just anguished about the whole damn thing. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Why is everybody so freaked out about the Maricones around here?
I don't know.
There's a lot of Maricones. There's a lot of lesbos. There's a lot
most
of...
in Cuban, though. They see it's like, we've outed them, and they're very upset about that.
Boy, we're getting worse
Mamacita and Papi are very pissed off.
You know, you got two things in Miami that's great. In South Florida, the weather and the hoochie coochie girls here.
Yeah.
I'm serious. That's the best thing, because this is a bush league town.
Yes,
this
sir.
is
You
a
can
bush
say that.
town, and the driving here is terrible.
Even the governor of the state is Bush. What does that
true.
tell you?
True.
Well, God bless you, sir. Good luck.
God bless you.
We'll need it. Okay, 2 open lines in Dade, 5670560.
Oh, God.
Bless you, and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. We got open lines in Palm Beach, in Fort Myers, in Okaloosa. We got open lines in Orlando. We got on the audio net all over the world. Of course, if we had an 800 number for the audio net and for the West Coast, we'd never have to be short of calls. We'd be getting calls from all over the goddamn place. Is that ever going to happen here?
No.
No, because they're goddamn cheap. That's why, because they're cheap. Now, Roy Foster's up there, and we like Roy a lot. He's making, what, $300-400 a year? He's pulling down for being the face man, for going around and doing a little PR, saying, hey, I used to play for the Dolphins. You know, I think what they ought to do is make Roy, have him do some spots, you know, to earn his living. For all that, what's he making, $600,000-700,000 a year, we heard today? Have him record some. He's got a pretty good voice on here. I like him on those spots, don't you? Where he says, hi, this is
Roy.
Yeah. I mean, he's better than Lenny Martez and Robert Grim Grieper. Ain't he? A little bit?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's go to a lady mobile in Oakland Park. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a lady caller, and you're not giving anything away, so that's not why I'm calling.
Well, that's great. What a great start.
A long-time listener. You used to get me up in the morning with your Neil, but
Right.
we won't go there. I thought of you. I was in the bank, and the one teller looked at the other teller, and she said, I can't find Milwaukee. And she was looking through a book, and I jokingly said, it's in Wisconsin. And she looked at me, she goes, Milwaukee's in Illinois, ma'am. Oh! And I said, I looked at her because I thought that she was like looking for a piece of paper that said Milwaukee.
Maybe she had too many dinners with Jeffrey Dahmer.
And then the other teller looked at her and she goes, no, ma'am, it's just south of Chicago. It's in Illinois. And they're arguing that it's in Illinois
is south
with
of
me.
Chicago. Uh-huh. Right.
So I thought of you when I was like the product of our education system here that
Neil wakes me up in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, there's my
That's
song.
a little bonus for you, yeah.
So I just want to tell you, it made me think of you that I'm sitting at the bank line and they're arguing that Milwaukee's in Illinois.
Welcome to Florida, sweetheart.
Hey.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Wow. Isn't it amazing? I mean, you can be fairly dumb like me, and you walk around when you're in Florida and you think you're pretty smart.
Floridians, dumb as dirt.
You can be like middle age. You can be aging like me, and you still you look around, you feel pretty young. You can be 90 in Florida and feel pretty young. That's the best part. No matter how old you are, you're still like under the median demographic of death.
Hi, this is G. Gordon Liddy, and they don't come any worse than Neil Rogers.
In keeping up with the current social trends, Reality Toy Company has introduced its new Gang Banger Barbie. Gang Banger Barbie comes in your favorite gang colors. Start your collection with Shanae, Barbie's crack hoe friend, and her pimp boyfriend, Ice Puffy Mac Daddy Kenny D. Gang Banger Barbie accessories include a Cadillac Eldorado for those late-night drive-by shootings of rival gangs and innocent bystanders. It's fun for the whole dysfunctional family. Get it today.
131 at 560 WQAM. So Joe Costello was just in here. I held up the Herald Sports section. I said, hey, Joe, take a look at this picture as being a very heterosexual guy that you are. And just answer this honestly. Would you like to look like Brendan Barmer here, this muscle-building, swimming, whatever this guy is, Duquesne? And he said,
no.
And I said, okay, we have an open line. Well, a little bit too much definition there. Okay, a little less Ripple is what he wants. Okay, maybe a little more Grandma Boone, less Ripple. 56705. Oh, by the way, here's a fax from Jim in Sunrise who's getting chronic and stealing my material. But it is true. Mayor Alex Penis in Dade County gives new meaning to the term circle jerk. Good point, Jim, but you're getting chronic. Also, Bernadette. Remember Bernadette Arnold, Wayne's ex-wife? She sends me a very inane about how her dad was a student counselor 200 years ago at Palmetto High. There you go. Palmetto High. We're going to put them on the map. Oh! That must be a pretty good school, don't you think? Palmetto Senior High? Anybody know about that, if it's a good school?
Yes.
I think so. I think they got an IQ larger than their thumbnail size down there. And their teachers don't ask you no questions. Here's a mobile in Coral Springs. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes?
Hello.
Let me try it one more time. Last time. Yes. Speak to me, sir.
Yeah, I was
glad to see Terry Carpenter not in the lineup last night.
Yeah.
Were you?
Yes, but well, I'm not having Peter Ratchuk in here. That kid is not ready for prime time.
No, but he's better than Carpenter.
No, wrong.
I think so.
Well, I'm glad you do. Have a nice day. Wrong. Absolutely incorrect, sir. Wrong. 2 open lines in Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. I'm choking on my lunch now, but it sure is great. From Chuck at the Subcenter across the street on the corner of 441 and Ives-Dairy Road. The Subcenter, where we have eaten just tons and tons of great, delicious food over these last 13 months, and we can't thank Chuck and Nisi and all those people over there enough. It's great. Everything they got over there, they use the best stuff, the best meats and the best shallot and the best everything. Fantastic. And these Nisi balls, thanks, Nisi. That's from everybody here. It's from all the white guys. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You ever have that Fugaza down there at Vito's in North Miami? That place is awesome.
Long time ago, yeah. That's one of Hank's sponsors, by the way.
Oh, that place is awesome. Listen, I'm getting ready to buy a Corvette here in a couple months. Any advice for a first-time buyer?
What do you mean by that?
Well, what do I want to tell?
Don't buy a 97.
No, I'm going to buy a 77.
Oh.
And I'm looking. I don't want to get burned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any advice? Have you had any problems?
I've never had a 77. Have you ever had any problems? Well, I mean, you can have problems with anything.
I know.
With a 77, you're buying, a car that's 22 years old and beautiful car. Just drive it around like a hell of a lot before you buy it, before you get ripped off.
You got it.
When you buy other people's problems, pal, just keep it in the back of your mind.
Okay. Well, I work.
And if worst comes to worst, get you a 99.
Okay.
Okay. 99 Corvette, best car I've ever driven in my life. Oh, is it a car? Wow. 97, don't buy no 97s, okay, because that was the first year they changed, and people warned me, there are going to be problems and recalls, and you were right. Here's Cutler Ridge. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Heterosexual male calling in. I saw
You're the one. I knew we had a straight listener out
there. Excuse me. I saw that picture in the Herald.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything for me now.
I'm not asking does it turn you on. I'm just
trying. Yeah, let me finish my story.
Yes, okay. We believe
what
it.
I'm telling you. If I were to convert, it'd be for you, Neil. You are so sexy.
Yeah.
You are just that.
Okay, great. Thanks. Open line and Dave 5670560 pound 560. Maricon. Okay, you're not fooling me. Maricon. Text 101. You're a fag, pal. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
There's no maricones in Cuba. They're all here.
They're all on Little Havana. That's right, in South Beach. Thank you, sir. Excellent point. 2 open lines in Dade, 1 in Broward, 567. We keep probing here, but I don't care. I got a great lunch. Thanks, Chuck. It's made my day. Made life worth living today, plus seeing that picture in the paper this morning. If we had one young lady, one old lady who calls that, but no, of course not. That's what I'm saying. This is such a dead-ass town. You try to, lighten them up a little bit. Have a little fun with them. Is it possible? No. They're worried about Roger Clemens and that fat David Wells. That's what they're worried about. That's the audience on this retarded radio station. Oh, gee, what are we going to do? We're all upset. Our intestines are, twisted inside out, so we don't know what to do. How about finding a life? That would be a good start. How about getting in the real world, okay? How about getting out of your little league mentality, getting out of your little balls and bats mentality, and getting into the big balls mentality, like in the real world, okay? Like a real human being. Here's a mobile in Cape Coral. Hello.
Yeah, Neil?
Yes?
I was just thinking, Neil, if you combine
Cape Coral, we're thinking? Yeah.
And a handgun, we might be able to sell them up there in Alabama.
We might be able to make a fortune
in
Alabama. Yes.
You'd have a dildo that fired a load.
Excellent point.
Isn't it?
Well, let me know when you open up. I'll buy some stock. Open line in Dade, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Who are you screaming at now? See, you're engaging some jackass. Which one is it?
We have his number.
Huh? Who is it? Who is it and what's he doing? Let's add a little spice to this thing and find out. I'm hearing you say you and all this stuff.
Julio, asshole. He's in love with you, though.
Doing what? Was this somebody that was on the air or some other jackass?
What is it?
Well, what is he? He's got a problem with you?
Oh, because I won't let him talk to you. Because he's another Julio faggot who's obsessed with you.
He's a Julio faggot?
I know. I'm sorry. I'm getting redundant again.
Yeah.
305.
Is there anything different than a Julio faggot?
No.
305-262-1700.
1700. Well, maybe that sounds like a business offer. He's very bored. He's looking for some friends. Maybe you can find some boyfriends. We got a lot of maricones on this show. 262-1700 in the 305 area code. You got like a Julio Maricon. Great. There's so many Julio Maricones in the Magic City, though, huh? Man, they're all over the place. They're just slobbering all over. 23. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's going to go on the air through these paper-thin walls. He's going, you.
Triangulando el pollo para acá.
He started out a regular guy who joined the Rectory and made the ultimate sacrifice, embracing celibacy. Father to Amen. Holding food. Father to altering Lord Amen. As time went by, his earthly needs compromised his choice. He found a way to get relief by altering young boys. Father to Amen. Oh! Holding food. Increíble. He was happy and gay till he got caught by some tattletale. Then the Vatican paid everyone off and he didn't have to go to jail. Father to Amen. Holding food. Father to altering boys, Amen. They sent him to a priest retreat where they genuflect and pray. If it was you or it was me, they'd lock us up and throw the keys away. Father to Amen. Holding food. Father to altering boys, Amen. Father to Amen. Holding food.
144 at 560, Cuban. That's our poll question today. Which altar boys get molested most by the family priest? Cubans or Irish? Irish, whatever they are, Catholic. Is it a contest, you think?
No.
Oh, the Irish are kind of like pasty, you know. Okay, well, do you see that movie Priest? There you go. That should give you some little tip-off. Here's a mobile in Hialeah. Hello.
Hello, Anillo.
Sí.
Tengo mucho pellejo en la punta y también en los huevos.
Sí.
Neil Roger es un gran maricón.
All right. Muchas gracias. Coming from you, I take that as a high compliment. Not. Okay, we have an open line in Dade. See, we're starting to get some of these people calling in now because we got, something we can talk about. Maricón. There. Thank you, by the way, to that guy that called and started this a few days ago. Maricón. See, you got our Spanish-speaking people in on the program now. Something they can relate to, a little bit of conversation that they talk about incessantly. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello. Mobile in Miami.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, wanted to tell you something. I thought a good idea for that Indian circle down there in downtown Miami.
Yes, sir.
Why don't they just go ahead and build right on top of it and maybe make the first floor kind of like a little museum and put all the little things they find in there. That way, they don't have to turn it down.
There you go. That makes too much sense.
Yeah.
Or they could just make like the bottom floor could be like glass. You know, you can see through it.
Yeah, that way you satisfy all these hippies that are getting all crazy down there about not building over that when the city's going broke and they need that money anyway.
Right.
So, hey, can I call somebody a douchebag?
Yes, sir.
Palmer and Charlie, you guys are douchebags.
Yeah. Okay, sir. God bless you. Okay, we have an open line today. Yeah, there's all kinds of ways. I mean, they could really move it, just like they move other artifacts into the New York Museum of Natural Science, and they move these dinosaur remains. I mean, you can move all sorts of things when you're talking stones and bones and teeth, the important stuff. But no, they don't want to do that because, hey, this is an ancient burial ground, and the mayor wants to find some real big song and dance that he can jump on and make political hay from because, thank God we have no problems in this town. We got a few of these, those problems, but now that we got that scumbag from the motel, we got him in jail, and nothing to worry about, right? Here's a mobile in Sunrise. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Great.
About this Alabama thing, you say always, and I've heard you for years say, people don't care until it's in their own backyard. Well,
it's in their own, between their own legs,
well,
right.
In Sunrise, it's now between their own legs. I don't know if you've heard about this sign ordinance. We now have the sign police in Sunrise.
You mean the neon thing? Yeah, I've been talking about that.
And the funniest thing about it is that at the meeting, I don't know if you heard about the comments that Pat Salerno made.
No.
The comments that Pat Salerno made to the business people is, we are an upscale, upper-class town now that we have this arena, and we need to project a better image.
Mm-hmm.
And if the business owners don't like it, when they're
that's last week's story. If they don't like it, they can get out.
They can get out, exactly. So,
well, I didn't have much response on that. I had a couple of people call in who are in business up there, and they're foaming at the mouth about it, as they well should be. And Pat Salerno wants to be a little Nazi.
Well,
and it would seem to me that Nazis in Sunrise don't fit in too well.
Well, the first sign they ought to take down is the one on the Sawgrass.
Right, exactly.
Out of material.
Okay, thank you. Pat Salerno, drive my ass. Yeah, that's right. But hey, they don't care about that. Like I say, I mean, that's one good thing about America. You don't have to worry about, some violent revolution, because when they come to take over the country, everybody just sit back and say, okay, go ahead. Here's Hollywood. Hello. Hollywood.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now, who is this woman you keep talking about?
What woman is that?
Madeline Cohen. Does she own Slimies?
Yeah. Is this beautiful? Retardo. Get the butterfly net. Retardo. You want us to screen the calls? Are you out of your mind, sir? we wouldn't be able to listen to that stuff. That's a great public service that we perform here on the show, is by alerting you to the fact that people like this are out there. They're out there. They're on the loose. See you at Schleimies, by the way, asshole. Here's Doral. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil, I am Julio that graduated from Christopher Columbus High School.
Oh, well, we don't want to get into that.
And I was an altar boy in elementary.
There's no fact in the church.
Or Columbus High, right. Oh, he's laughing now.
Oh, God. Neil.
Now, were you approached? Were you touched? Were you, fondled?
Let me tell you a little story. One time I was caught making out with my girlfriend in 8th grade in the bushes.
Yeah.
The priest called me to his office.
And was jealous as hell, right?
And he tried to kiss me. No, I'm just kidding.
Said, what a waste.
He told me that...
there's no fact in the church.
Yeah. He started off by that, saying that he was once a boy of my age and he knew what I was going through, but school's not the place for it.
Right. Maybe he could give you a helping hand.
Yeah, and then he gave me the bread.
And didn't you tell him, don't give me no lip?
Exactly.
Okay. God bless you.
Neil, take care.
Okay, see you. So what was that priest? Maricon. There you go. That's it. This Sunday, all you suckers that keep going to church, your parents drag you to church, when your priest comes around with that, whatever he's coming around, just yell, Maricon! And he'll go, So what's your point? That's what he'll say. Well, listen, when you go to church, aren't you supposed to get on your knees? It's good practice. Practice makes perfect. We have an open line at Dade, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. It's 11 till 2 at QAM. In this just unbelievably humorless, desolate, desperate place. And this station ain't much either, by the way. Yeah, but we always got Roy to fall back on. Because he's out there selling up a store, man. He's out there doing it. Is he out there selling up a store?
No.
Are the salespeople psychotic?
Yes.
Nice memo, Screwan. We seen him at all today, by the way? Won't see him no more.
No.